Oh shit, he live, ladies and gentlemen.
You know it.
Oh, he is live, ladies and gentlemen. He's
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
live.
All right. 1500 by 683.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Enough time. Each other. That work. Sure. Um, alright. I'm gonna give you a jumper juice first.
Hey, bro. Doing that job at
You're gonna be saying, I'm all the way up.
you.
And share, go to the 10, baby.
Oh, that's what I did. Forgot how I lined it up. Fuck.
Alright, we're up on the 10. We're on board 3D right now. Then fix.
Man, I had this thing set up.
3D. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
That dragon is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Sculpt.
I had it aligned on the last
I
one,
mean,
and I forgot to save the view. Had it all lined up. Oh well. Fine. Good with that. This is gonna be the front.
I'm gonna share my screen in the meantime while my thing. I think people watching this.
Yeah. Mhm.
On my time. Oh, yeah, party people. What are you using, Ron, to make it to switch it back and forth like that on the texture in and out like that?
Oh, see through up here.
See through? Oh,
Range a bunch of
that dragon head. What you trying to match up right now? The skull?
well, I'm trying to figure out what I had it matched up to. I think.
I could see the dragon a
Yeah,
little
because
bit
this,
off
I know the skull. Like, I
the
had,
head.
I didn't have anything like specifically in a specific spot or anything, but
Yeah, this will teach you next time on.
yeah, man.
You could go off from like you could have gone off the skull as reference. You know what I mean? Put a little skull
Mm-hmm.
on there. Start off with the skull as reference, the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do
Yeah,
that.
build off of that. We'll scene off of that.
Uh,
Stitch it up with no problem. That's why I like using the background on Zbrush instead of that view thing because if you have an image behind over there and then you want to bring that image and put it behind it again, you gotta same size that you put it, and then
mm-hmm.
it'll be saved in your project. So you'll never have to worry about to load it up and match it up with the same size. I really use it, use this. I probably would use it if I was just grabbing something from a specific one thing, but I wasn't doing everything that's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. No, don't make a character sheet.
It's almost like the way of doing that mask one, you know what I mean? Because it's just it's there. You're gonna get your geometry right over your.
Okay, so front. Save this view. Gonna go draw. What's a document? ZF link. Save views. Gonna be that. Hey, I don't want to hear any more shit.
What happened with your document size and your ZBrush that was too long or what?
Oh no, yeah, damn it, son of a bitch. No, I just didn't save my views last time. Usually if you can save them, then it's a whole lot easier.
Yeah, probably I'll get that image and put it on like the background.
I don't want to. Alright, it's too intensive. I have this multi-million, like, I have to have it like multi-million. You have to be like a $30 million reference. I mean, 30 million poly reference, and it's just not worth it to me whenever I can have this without any processor, GPU cost.
Oh, I see what you're saying. True that.
You know what I'm saying, son? Do you
cause,
feel
yeah,
me?
it does slow it down when you're using that. Oh, right on.
Oh, that's right. I always do that.
Like 19 viewers watching. Nice. What up, people?
Oh, that's right. Still getting used to this thing, dude. I love how easy it is, but I'm still getting used to it. Come on now.
Run on.
What the fuck?
Coco. Coco. Liking what you're doing, bro.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate ya. some reason, I lost my views. I don't know why, but I lost them again. Clear all. I love you.
Hey Ron, you should be doing these. Are you doing these from a page? On our page, or are you doing it directly from your profile?
Directly from my personal. Alright, we're gonna try this again. Love you. Yes. Maybe it has to do with now. It's just all. Damn. Ugh.
I just start all over again from the beginning, Ron.
Yeah, I'm just gonna delete everything.
Show these folks how you do this. How you do
There
no
we
problem.
Go. So this is my front fucking view. Front save views. Fucking right over this shit, bro. Fuck yeah. Alright, so now I'm gonna move it all around. I'm gonna press fucking front. Better fucking go there, dude. Alright, so here we go. And let's see. See if you fuck me again. You gonna fuck me? Alright. Let's see, dude. Let's see if it's gonna fuck me. No, it's not this time. See, it learned its lesson this time. Like, alright, boss. Alright, you caught us. We fucked you over. You caught us. We'll do it this time. And I have to drink water for like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3, 2, 1 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, I drink this all the time. I drink nothing but for like a month now. Yeah, I drink like 1, 2, or 3 gallons a day.
Damn, dude, what are you trying to do? Break a record?
I drinking like it's nothing now, like I'm all custom before I started off with 1 gallon, 2. I went to for sure. Yeah, I'm almost done with my 3rd one. I got like water is so good.
I was like, saying the other day, I was like, I always say how thankful I am for the water I'm drinking because I always feel like one day it's gonna run out.
No, I was tripping now that like back in the day when I was small, and I'm like, man, dude, I never knew I was gonna end up paying for water, dude.
Oh right.
Yeah, I didn't know how valuable water was until like I was like 12 years old. When I realized, I said, what, it's fucking water. People pay for these water. I'm like, oh shit, crazy. Yeah, so I thought, you know what? Old, I started working when I was 12 years old. Yeah, I said, you know what? I'm tired of my mom dressing me in pink shirts, pink pants, and going to school like that. You know what I mean? Everybody looks at me funny, like they want to say something. You know what I mean? Like they want to.
You want to say something?
But no one says nothing. Something, but no one says it. So I'm like, oh, that's it, dude. I'm about to buy my own clothes, my own shoes. You know what I mean? Cause I didn't like to ask for anything. So I'm gonna start washing cars around my neighborhood. Yeah, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I would wash cars, dude. I was making some good money. I was making $50 a day. Just go out there and wash. I'll take me and my older brother. Should have gave me that idea. He said, you should go wash cars. Buy some turntables. Yeah, that's what I did. Down the line, the 2 turntables on the Technique, like $500 each. Yeah, like nice. I started buying my clothes, and after then, since after that, I never ever counted on asking for anything to my mom or my dad, because I knew where to get money from. Like, oh, I gotta get your hustle out there. Yeah, so I started washing cars when I was like 12 years old. Yeah, that really hooked me up. I'm glad I did that. I should have started earlier. I could have done that like at 9 years old. Yeah, to watch them put armor on their tires and bam, $6.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Armor on their tires, man. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What the fuck? Oh shit.
I don't know. I guess I remember when my mom used to dress me in pink. I was like, well, you know what? I need to make my own money. I was talking about that I started, what's it called? Working at the age of 12, so I could make my own money and buy my own things. You know what I mean? Not rely on my parents.
Oh yeah.
Cars around my neighborhood.
Yeah, man. I'll put that thing on there. Bam. Right. I was making some good money. Bam. Right on them tires, is he?
Yeah, that armor.
Oh, snip, snap, and see. Órale, man. I just put that armor all up on there. pow, 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 bam. Oh man, it's funny.
I'll be like, I got some armor on.
Damn, it's got that shit on lock. You need some? Cause I got it. What it is?
Make sure you put that parking brake bag because you don't put enough armor on those tires. I don't want that shit fucking slipping back down your driveway. What was your first job, Ron? You remember your first job? Making money?
Very first job. I'm trying to, I don't know. If it was a grocery store, or, yeah, it was a grocery store. It was the first job I ever had.
I need to make my own money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, well, it was a grocery store. I was a horrible employee. I had no sense of like fucking workmanship or at all, dude. I would just fuck about. It was like my first or second day, and I went upstairs. He was like, "Hey, can you go clean the bathrooms?" And I was like, "Well, where are those?" And he's like, "Oh, so and so will show you." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I went up there, and I just put my feet up on the desk. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm fucking chilling." The manager comes upstairs and sees me with my fucking feet up on the table. And so I just get up and I just go and I clean the bathroom. I don't say anything. He doesn't say anything. No one says anything, and then we just keep going on. Oh, this is great.
No.
Good times, good stuff.
Hey, but what made you get that job though? Like, what made you go out job hunting? I need to get me a job.
I just wanted to just got into guitar, and my parents hated it, and they weren't going to support me at all, and so I had to buy all my own like gear. So I just got a job.
I sit on the guitar then when you got that job.
Oh yeah, I got that guitar. Yeah, it was a Guild, Guild. It was red. But yeah, what about you, man? Just that armor all bam.
Yeah, that's just take my armor, my bucket, and sponge, and that's it. And the towel. Just fill it up with water, and that's it. Hey, but yeah, it was I wanted to get me. I was really into music. I used to DJ. I bought myself 2 turntable SL 1200s, so like $500 each. And I didn't use that microphone. Like, hey, what's that? I just like nice. Like I used to do hip hop or deep house, a little bit of acid house, but mostly it was like deep house and hard house. Like shit that you would hear like on Power Tools, Power 106. Anybody that's in California knows back in the day heard of Power 106, Power Tools. It was the shit. That's a fucking legend. Oh well, that type of music back in the day inspired me, and I said, you know what, I want to. And we got involved also in making house parties. We used to do backyard house parties that will get like filled up, like the shit that you saw on that one movie that came out that they're partying and the helicopter gets there and the house is on fire and exactly like that, exactly little party like that. Except we wouldn't set the house on fire, but everything would happen exactly like that, except without no one getting ever hurt or nothing like that. But yeah, it'll get raided just like that with SWATs and everything. It'll be like a helicopter and cars. They'll lock up the whole street and tell everybody to go home. But we will always throw parties like that. after I got those turntables. Yeah, it went up to that.
Two turntables and a microphone.
That type of
And I always forget.
Yeah, so I got inspired by doing turntables.
Mm-hmm.
And to be buying me pink clothes no more and pink shoes, so I was able to buy. The reason it was just to buy all my clothes, and I wanted those turntables.
Mm. That's cool.
And from there, it led to other things. Yeah, I ran into Mac 3D Max at the age of 16. Oh no, I felt like when I was exactly 18 years old. When I was 18, I ran into Max in a Barnes and Nobles. A big old can buy my mom just pulled it out and said, "Here, you that might interest you." And I'm like, oh shit, this shit was fucking heavy as fuck. I was like 3D Max 5, and I started looking through it. Like, damn, they weren't kidding. This shit's called 3D. Wow, like big, heavy, thick ass book. Cost like $55. I'm like, hey mom, Lisa, let me borrow, $55. Lisa, pay you, Yeah, ended up taking it home, and I got hooked on that. Rhino and Max 5, and I ended up getting my student version for $500.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fucking hooked on that, dude, because I saw the capability. I was like, oh, so this is what they used to make fucking games and rendering, visual effects for movies and stuff like that. I'm like, this is pretty tight. So I could create some stuff in here, like anything you imagine, you could create in here. I'm like, sweet. And so I started exploring, playing with Max a lot.
Oh, that's right.
And I played with Max for about 5 years, and then Zbrush came out. When Zbrush came out, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So Zbrush 3 came out, I ran into it. Saved up 3 months later, and I bought Zbrush for $3.99. And I fucking abandoned my Max, but I will never forget him. We'll go back.
I will find you again.
But fucking Max, if I go back to Max, I will definitely go back to all the way back to Max 5. I try to play around with the current Max version right now. I was like, what the fuck? It should look like Maya now. I feel kind of weird. The other one wheels is Max 5. Or on the material editor. Where you gotta drag and shit.
Mm-hmm. So it's Saturday night. Right? It is Saturday night.
Saturday? For real?
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Saturday. Hey, Ron.
Yes, sir.
you make a little room
Say again?
for me? That'll come out on your feed. So I can share my screen here. It'll come out on your feed.
Oh yeah, I thought you were streaming. I thought you were gonna stream on yours. That's the reason. Yep. Yeah, sure. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, because I shared this on my screen. They know part of me or something as well.
Oh, no worries.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Cause Yep, we're good.
All right.
You good now, dude? You good now, dude?
Got it. I got it. All right. Before I start anything, reach out. Do a little 1, 2, 3 jumping jacks.
All right.
Stretch out. 1, 2, 3 jumping jacks before anything.
All right. 1, 2, 3. So we need to shrink everything but that. Well, let's start. Definitely those legs.
Like 20 people in here.
Oh, nice.
What up, people? Stick around, people. I'm gonna show you guys a magic trick right
now. You seriously gonna show them that thing? Dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna show my own magic trick.
You
want to see a magic trick? If they comment that yeah, they want to see a comic trick, but also I'm not gonna show them. So let me know who wants to see a trick. Only there's one person that say they want to see a trick. Halloween. Let's see a magic.
Yeah, I think I can deal with that.
Picture. Hey Ron, did you know about this? I'll show you something in the spotlight. Sort of delete what's around what you don't want on this, so it could be transparent.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me come to you. Hold on. Mm-hmm.
You go here, look.
Mm-hmm.
You go over to the paint.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on paint, you can paint on here. You see how it's white right now? That it's I have it selected on white. If I put a red. But once I go all the way down to black, and it'll start burning in the color, and you'll see what's behind.
Mm-hmm.
You see it? Clear it up. So you'll take away that image, textured image that's there. So I erase it.
Oh, cool.
Now I can see what's behind more. You know what I mean? So it'll take up more space. My black up to my and go back and finish off where I left off. Okay. Black. I wonder. Oh, that. Oh, okay, okay. kind of. Let's see.
Hey.
Hey.
Much better, much better.
Right back up, see if there's any fruit in the fridge.
All right, bro.
Back in 30 seconds.
Oh, hey, Vivek. Vivek, whoa. I guess he left. Was it 12:17? Sorry, guys. If I miss your message, you just gotta keep going because I get locked into my screen and I'm working. So, but someone did ask where's the best place to learn ZBrush from, and I always have that answer. And his name is Michael Pavlovich. Right, so he's got advanced, beginner level, intermediate, all for free, and definitely support his gumroads and all that too. Because he did a really wonderful job on these tutorials. So if you can get one of his gumroads, that would be dope. And DJ Lolo in the house. Alrighty. So we're gonna get back. Sorry. I know. I'm just sitting here. Sorry. Okay. Alright, so we got a few things going on for us, right? Fit. A shield. Let's make a shield. Let's do some quick stuff so y'all can see this in action. You're welcome. So we'll take sphere. Doesn't matter what we get because we're just gonna make it a poly mesh and turn it into a cube. So, let's take a look at this shield that we're we'll make a couple swords too. We'll make like 2 swords. So we got the shield right here. That big. Get the point. Okay, so it's gonna be super easy. All right, so it up a bit, out. Right. Center point. Extend it out. That. Well, actually, you know what we're gonna do? That. Put that right there. And voila! We have a shield. Okay. So we will add. Clear that out. And this on down, son. Down, right?
Going down. Meet me in the club.
Oh my god, it lost all of its. It lost all of its. Oh my god. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll press Control W, BZM, polygroup, flat island, boom. Click it. Stick it. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll go to stroke, we'll go to curve functions, we'll say polygroups, frame mesh, boom. Bring out our Z modeler, get this bevel, shakal, press J, press crease polygroups, and then shakal. So we can go here, crease, edge loop complete, and do that, do down these edges, and boom. There you go. So now we can highlight all these. We can go inset, region, bring this down, turn that off. And one more time, there. And then we can do crease polygroups. And then we can do Q mesh, polygroup all, bring that out a bit. Right? And then we can press J, crease polygroups, over this edge, polygroup, flat island, press Control W, one more time, and then we can go back to stroke, frame mesh, you get the deal, you get the deal, you get it, you get it, and then crease polygroups, right?
Half off.
And then you crease, and then you motherfucking crease it. You motherfucking crease it. That's it. Now you're done with the shield, alright? And then we can go clip curve that there. And I'm not very used to this, but we will try something. Here, we'll do a bend curve, maybe? I don't know. No, we won't. Bend arc. No. Ah, there we go. Get that. Press Ctrl W. There you go. Accept. Boom. Schlau cow. There's your shield. So, that looks pretty dope. Go back over here. Front. And pin. Get the shield. And go to the shield. Name it, because we need to know it's a shield. And go. Boom. And so let's do a sword next. We'll take this. Doesn't matter what we get. Just gonna make a polymesh. Kill cylinder by. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load the blade that I have and just get rid of all this ornamental stuff. Trying to work smart, not hard.
Ryan, you still there?
No, man, I'm out.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
See you, bro. Peace.
What's up, dude?
Mic checking. You're still breathing. Breathe.
Yeah, dude.
I wanted to go make me a quick like egg sandwich, a minute, put something in my stomach, but the landlord grandpa's out there chilling. I don't wanna tell him. He watches TV right next to the stove area, interrupting him because it's boxing night. Box. It's the only time he watches TV. Saturday. Bevel, bevel.
Bevel, bevel, bevel.
I love to bevel.
I love beveling once, maybe 2 or 3, or maybe. Sometimes I do it 3 times and then I bring it down to 2 and 1.
Alright, I see what you mean.
You feel me on that one, dude?
Reasonable. Sometimes, yeah. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Do this. Yeah, I'm on bed with that. 1, 2, 3, 1. Right after
you.
So now I'm getting a lot of messages from girls that they want to move in and be my wife.
Oh, wow. Isn't that strange? Whenever you get a house, you start getting these.
They don't realize that I was, that I was just kidding when I said that.
I mean, you was just playing them?
Took it real serious. Yeah, I was definitely so you sure?
You just didn't care about them?
Can't handle no girl. Too much for me, man.
Too much for me, Poppy.
Hello. Nice. A nice plate. There's something happening here. What's that sound? I'll grab back. I'm gonna see if Grandpa's
No,
there.
wait, where you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab me something. You know, something. Give me something to munch. I'm hungry. I'll be back real quick.
I think it's looking pretty good. Kind of weird to be sculpting for an illustration. I mean, my process right now is that I'm just putting everything where I can as close to the image as possible, and then afterwards going through and seeing what I need to fix. So, I mean, it hasn't gotten too out of hand. I am keeping an eye on it. Like, that face, teeth are gonna have to be fixed. But yeah, it looks good from this. But if we turn it, I just want to make sure that it's a good sculpt as well as a good image, and I don't mind sacrificing a few things here and there for sculptural continuity. That doesn't bother me, like his arm and everything. I don't want to shorten one arm and have a longer arm over here. I don't want to do that. So keeping the arm lengths the same, and it's a little off, and the blade is a little off, but it's just the way, that's the only way he can hold it. So, but yeah, everything else is pretty much in place the way it should be. I am pretty interested in seeing the lighting on this. How it works like within RenderMan, because ZBrush doesn't really have that great of actual light affecting each other, like indirect lighting and all that stuff. But it's gonna be cool, man. I'm gonna try to get this into Unreal. Try to get it to Unreal, just for my portfolio, because I think it's one of the things that is lacking is some game engine stuff, and this is pretty simple to where it'll be easy to bake and easy to put together. So, but if anyone has any questions in the audience, please feel free to ask. We are watching the chat now, and thank you for all the likes and all the messages and all the encouragement on these streams. It's very gracious of all of you that have done that, and yeah, thank you. So, I'm gonna get back to work. And I'm gonna listen to some podcasts. That's what I do.
It's an interesting insight, man. It's a really, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. I know I feel like I'm so right about it, and I'm really hopeful somebody who's listening right now gets value out of that and realizes it's a flaw on their end and they should address it tomorrow.
Right. Cool. Well, listen, so I have a couple questions from some of the listeners actually called into my station. Sure. But before we get to that rapid fire, I have one more question from me. So you've been on Anchor from the very beginning. We talked earlier in the conversation about some of the ups and downs. You've been watching this space. I think lately you've been super vocal about your support of audio and how you think that it has a very bright future. What is that future? What do you think audio looks like a year from now, 5 years from now? Like, what is this medium going to look like on the internet?
Audio is about to take over. It's going to be the era of audio. It's literally, I don't know if it's going to be on the same pedestal that social media is on right now, but it has the potential to be even more significant because it saves time.
Because it allows you to multitask.
I think 100%. Time is the asset.
Right.
And that's why Uber won. Uber sold time. It was efficiency. Efficiency always works. I'm obsessed with audio, bro, in a real meaningful way. Like I'm you're right. I've gotten very, very loud, and it's a big deal. It's a huge, huge deal.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, so a couple quick questions from the listeners who called in.
And by the way, real quick, to bring a little more value, because I was a little distracted because D-Rock, I want to make sure that we were going right. Hold on, we're having. Sorry, everybody, I'm trying.
Yeah, no worries.
We're going
to
USC.
Oh, awesome.
Hold on, let these guys figure it out. Anyway, sorry, everybody listening, just trying to get to my next talk. I voice not only in podcasting and in Anchor, and in Alexa skills and Google Home, like all things around voice,
Yeah.
All things around voice.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see some of the biggest tech companies in the world right now investing millions and millions and millions of dollars into these voice platforms, into this type of content. I think it's a no-brainer that there is a shift happening right now, right before our very eyes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think everybody's going to wake up and do voice stuff, whether listen, whether interact with a skill, in your car for sure. It's unbelievably important. Unbelievable.
So there's a caller named Nick Boyle, speaking of audio, and he asked,
"Hey, Michael, super pumped that you're going to be interviewing Gary Vee right here on Anchor. My question that I have for him and you actually is, when you were first starting to produce audio content, what was the one hack or tip that you learned that completely changed how you produced your content, or was a turning point as far as being able to bring more value to your listeners?" Thank you, and looking forward to the interview.
Well, at first, I was, the original podcast in 2015 was just a transcription from my YouTube show, Ask Gary Vee. Mm-hmm. And now even a far majority of it is still transcriptions from my day-to-day. I'm a little bit different. As you know, I've created like a whole media infrastructure around me as a human being, right?
For sure,
so whether
absolutely.
So I may not be the right person to answer this question for him, but I think, again, as you heard with my philosophical point of view on hiring, I'm always going to go to the mental landscape on this. And so the real answer to this is self-esteem. Once you are confident, nothing stops you from doing anything, let alone a podcast. He's worried, and many are worried about what people are going to think. Is it good? Do I sound weird? And I think so much of why I've been I think I've been a pretty good pioneer of personal brand or human interaction with technology. If you look carefully, it has to do with self-esteem. It has to do with, I don't care if people are judging me for having a human being following me around with a camera. And then all of a sudden, 18 months later, it's not the norm, but it's the emerging norm amongst a group of people. And then it becomes a norm for everybody. People thought it was weird that I had a YouTube show, that was stupid, that was beneath people if they aspire to do good content. Who cares about what you say on Twitter?
Oh, cool. Got 13 people in here.
2007, 8, and 9 was Twitter stupid because nobody's going to care what you're eating a pizza or what your thoughts are. This is, people forget. People told me the internet was a fad.
Why would I
not open a second liquor store instead of putting all my money into this stupid website? This is forever. This is,
It's interesting. If you go back.
Say one other thing.
Go for it.
Don't forget your thought, but I want to tell people how far this goes back. I sold my baseball card collection because I thought baseball cards were going to collapse, and I bought toys at Toys R Us when nobody even knew why I was doing that. And then collecting action figures became a thing. Like, this has been my whole life. This is new. And it's all predicated on self-confidence that my mother instilled and that the circumstance of my life instilled. So that's what's holding people back from podcasting. Now, tell me where you're going to take them interested.
No, I was going to say,
trying to get everything in
that confidence that you talk about, it's evident from your very first YouTube video, the very first.
He over there cheating.
On YouTube.
He cheating.
Like, wow, this guy has never done one of these before.
He's tracing. He's tracing.
Like you got on that camera and you were like, we're doing the show and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an insight. And I guess I would rather everybody who's listening right now take a step back and figure out why they're confident, overconfident, underconfident. You're right, man. Like, I did that you took me back to February 21st, 2006, because I can remember the day. Like, I thought it was going to be a good line show. I thought I would do it better than most. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And you know what's funny? I've lost that game. I thought that I could open up a bunch of businesses and be the passive partner in Forest with Kyle Bragger, or Corped with Lindsay Ragna, or Obsessed TV with Samantha Edis. 3 incredibly talented, awesome people. All 3 companies failed because I'm not a good passive partner. I'm either all in or I'm out, right? And so if I'm not in, then I'm kind of not in at all, right? Like, and so you learn. And so I was able to be more transparent when Ben Leventhal and I did Resi, right? Like, I know myself now. Like if I became the biggest investor in Anchor's next round, I'd be like, listen, man, I care, but like, kind of, you're going to have to be smart how to use me, because it's not even about the economics. It's like either I'm all in or all out. Like, I'm a weird dude. So I think, I think you have to know yourself. Self-awareness is the ultimate drug in life, let alone entrepreneurship.
And what's interesting, just to very quickly tie it back to one of your earlier answers, this is kind of with the hiring thing, right? And the
Oh yeah, you got that coffee, dude?
I'm out. I don't got no more coffee. That's why I'm saying. I'm telling my dad to bring me some of mom's coffee over here. That's
Are you eating right now,
Tarantino
dude?
coffee.
Are you eating?
Yeah. I haven't eaten none
Well,
all day.
you're gonna talk with your mouth full of food while I'm trying to work. OMG. OMG. GMO. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Wait a minute.
Alright, you done talking about fucking coffee beans now? Can I get back to work?
Firing thing comes down to confidence.
Just give me 1, 2, 3 more seconds.
Alright.
It comes down to self-awareness and whether or not you're willing to take that ego hit, and you have the confidence to stand up and admit you made the wrong decision, right? So it's funny how confidence is sort of the thread that ties all this stuff together.
That's right. And confidence goes in funny places. Like, we're doing this interview. I would tell you, listen, I love you and I love this platform. That's why I'm doing it. But it's not the biggest interview of my life, right?
I love for like handmade corn tortillas.
I know it's a hidden number because I've been playing with your platform.
Masa,
I knew it was you.
like real thin. Nice and warm. Oh.
And it's so weird what went through my mind, which is I literally this went through my mind. I'm like, I'm about to give the best anchor interview of all time.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you willing to put in that work. Well, this has been awesome.
You know, it's funny. That's, you know what? That was an interesting insight from you. You just said something super interesting to me that I hope everybody paid attention to. I made a very funny kind of narcissistic kind of like hyperbole statement. You interpret it as work, and that's how I interpreted it. Like, the fact that you took what I just said and thanks for putting in that work, I think that was super interesting, and I hope everybody caught it, because to me, one of the great things of having a big mouth and having big ambition is you suffocate yourself out of excuses.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Well, I sometimes wonder if I decided to buy the New York Jets as a kid as a framework that didn't allow me to take it easy or look for the angles. Like, when I realized I had to really go there, right? Like I feel like when you talk shit, you either back it up or you're a real loser, which is why most people don't talk shit.
Yeah, people are worried about putting themselves out there and not being able to deliver. So by talking a lot, you just increase the output required to actually get shit done.
Correct. It forces me to put in the work.
Yeah, it's a forcing function. I love it.
And I think what people don't see is it's selfless, not selfish. For me,
you gotta fix your layout.
Yeah, this is my layout. You fix your layout. Your layout's boring as fuck, dude. Let's talk about your layout. All right, you ain't got shit going on in your layout. All right, you just eat your tacos, dude. You just chill over there, okay?
Man, I show everything.
Whatever.
You're so little, all squished up, bro.
Well, because there's a lot of shit to see, man. We got to see you in an appropriate ratio to me, and then we got to fill out all the rest of the space, and so we got the short in there that I'm promoting, and then most important is who's watching. Do they have any questions? It's like that needs space. I mean, like, I don't know what you want.
You should raise it up and squeeze the question about your ass to see your screen more. I'll be more interested in trying to see what you're doing there.
They see enough of my screen. Does anybody out there complain about my screen being too small? If so, if you think my screen's too small, say what's up.
Yeah, tell them, guys.
All right.
Tell them
I'm the guy on the right, by the way. All right.
He's gonna put it on full screen. Yeah, it should have to see your screen better.
Yeah, and you know, if you think the screen's fine, then just say
I'm on a 42-inch green TV watching you right now.
Oh yeah.
Watching. Yeah, I'm on a 42-inch screen. I still think it's a little bit kind of. It should be brought up. My suggestion. Think. What do you guys think? Should we bring it up a little bit higher so you guys get a better view? Squeeze up that question about ZBrush up a little bit. What do you guys think? Leave a comment.
Let us know. It's up to y'all anyway. It's not up to me. I don't care. It doesn't matter what I want on the screen. It's what y'all want. So.
Because you know what I mean. You're not watching it. You're over here busy. They're the ones that are watching your screen. And I enjoy it better to see more of your what's going on.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Yeah, I don't want.
Yeah, they want to see.
Nah, they don't want to.
They're missing all the. They're missing what buttons you're pressing.
Nah, they don't care about that, dude.
Want to see what you're turning on and off.
Dude, they can see my entire UI, man. What are you talking about, dude? They can see everything. Anyway.
And people with, might have, what I mean? Might have to squint a little bit, try to see what's going on. You gotta reach for their glasses.
Get their contacts back in.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? They don't enjoy their coffee as much, you know what I mean? Because they're not getting the whole shebang, you know what I mean? Like, man, I got a 42-inch screen TV and I'm watching it with a little piece side on the side. I could be watching it more, you know what I mean? You gotta get it together, Ron.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll bring it up like an inch more up high.
Oh yeah, is that what you were gonna do?
That's what I'm gonna do to your layout.
You know what you're gonna do to it? I'm gonna change your shit.
I'm gonna have a talk with Jesse and
Oh, you're gonna do it in Blender?
Yeah, we're gonna hack it over from Blender. We're gonna upgrade you. All right, I'm ready. Let's do this. I think this one's gotta be one of the most challenging for 3D print.
Oh yeah, for sure. A face mask. Did he give you like a scan of his head, at least, so you can put it to his head?
No, not yet. I'm gonna, before I start, yeah, I'm gonna tell him. Even though I'm not gonna have real low topology geometry, so it won't be easy to fix.
Mhm.
17 people in here. Nice.
Nice.
18 people in here. Don't go nowhere, guys. Stay here.
Yeah. Stay right there.
Hang in there, guys. It's gonna get high. See if there's 19. Don't leave, guys. Till we get 30.
That's our content for our videos, is begging people not to leave. Oh man, did you see that show last night? Yeah, man, Hiram begged so well, dude. He's begging like, oh, I can't believe it, dude. Did you see the end of the show? I don't want to spoil it for you, but let's just say, he was begging a bit.
No,
it's what the fuck? Guys, you're a fucking social experiment. Oh my god.
Trying to get a laugh out there.
All right, season 18 of Hiram Begs for you to stick around.
I get excited when I see people like hitting that 20 view mark.
Like, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Hey, I don't know. I do it because I love it. I know you do it for that same reason as well. But viewers is cool. Viewers is a fun part.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I'm gonna get to mess around, joke around, get to know your viewers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love people. I love that people watch, but like, I like it when, like, people just message me afterwards, and they're like, wow, I can actually talk to you. And I'm like, yeah, of course you can talk to me. I'm just as fucked up as you are, man. I guarantee it.
Yeah, before I remember no one would add me. Nobody would add me. And I started streaming. Every stream I stream, and like 15 people added me.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
And I don't just go over there and just add everybody, but I do try to go in there and start looking at if they're in the same that I'm doing.
Yeah, for me, I look and see if they're putting in. I see if they're a friend of whoever, and then I check to see if they're putting in the hustle. Exactly. If they're hustling, then yeah, I'll automatically say yes, because that's the type of like people I want around me.
Yeah, because I go put on my friends list right now. I still haven't had. I gotta still go one by one and check, see what they do, what they're up to. Yeah, so I know they're legit, but I don't have to look out my
friends. See if Leo's around. What time is it?
But yeah, man, I'm getting added from like people from all over the world, bro.
Oh yeah, same.
I can't even pronounce. I try to pronounce their name. Like, thanks for sharing my page. I'll tell my bad if I mispronounce your name, but thanks for the support. Cool. Yeah, and then the followers, we getting a lot of followers. That's cool.
Oh, thanks, Juan. And Alejandro, thanks for the request.
So if there's any suggestions on what you guys would think will make better, what would you guys like to see? Let us know.
Yeah.
Currently working 3D print, and that's coming. I'm liking those crystals.
Yeah, you liked it, that shit?
Like those ice glacier. Yeah. Love it. like that. That's supposed to be a dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a dragon?
Oh yeah.
Big iguana.
Yeah, it's just a big iguana, really. It's just a Geico.
I like the jaws on off dragons and T-Rex is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, sure.
The heads, that jaw. I like T-Rex jaws. I'm a little bit like anime for some reason, not sure why.
Yeah, after listening to that Dave Raposa talk, like, be a little bit less precious about overall shapes. Try to surface the image overall instead of my knowledge of anatomy. Oh, that was like a kick in the fucking face, man. I was like, well, I can't believe I've just been serving anatomy and not the image. That's the reason. That's what's separating me from other people. Or not other people, other works of art.
All right. Short one. Solo.
like it's working.
There he is.
Hello.
What's going on, brother?
Good. I just got back from Spider-Man.
Oh, how'd you like it? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, well, no spoilers.
Oh, I saw it yesterday.
It was double good.
Yeah, don't talk about it. I fell asleep watching it yesterday.
I don't want to yell. I don't get nobody mad. But it was dope.
Cool.
Super dope.
Probably go see it Monday morning or something.
Yeah. But I'm brain fried. I actually didn't realize you were doing your stream, but I just read the letter. I clicked on the link before I read the fucking message.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, Hangout, cool. I'll do that for like a hot minute.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Wednesday, I'm good for Wednesday though.
This Wednesday and next Wednesday?
I'll do both. Yeah, whatever.
Dude, you definitely need to be in on next Wednesday.
The 12th and the 19th, right?
Right. The 19th is gonna be pretty special, dude.
Oh, why's that?
I'm gonna put the. Oh, just don't say it because it's just for us to know. Because I'm gonna announce it next week. But it's don't say it.
Oh, you throwing in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! Nice.
Yeah.
That's one of my dudes, man. That's
Hell
one of the
yeah.
guys I learned from.
Hell yeah.
I took
so what we're gonna
Ryan.
So what we're gonna do is because of all the great things he's done. Hopefully he's not gonna watch this. I don't think, but I'm gonna type that too. All right, so.
Word. Ultra secret.
Mm-hmm.
There's some like Spider-Man level spoiler stuff right here. Can't let people know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what I want to do for him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Right. That sounds cool.
Yeah. So if you want to start before,
Oh yeah. Just do a little warm up.
Yeah, because I'm definitely gonna sculpt one before the show, because I don't get to sculpt with y'all. Yeah.
I understand. Well, isn't it like intercession or some shit now? Pardon my language.
Hmm.
But like you got a little bit more free time right now, or you're also doing the New 52 thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're always busy. I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be busy until let me check my calendar. Probably until
throwing papers up in the air.
Probably until August. I'm being 5/2 full time.
Nice. Oh man. But yeah, man, Spider-Man, totally worth it. Worth the dollar bills. I'm probably gonna go see it again on Sunday. It was dope. Yep. And yeah, definitely. I'll be there this Wednesday, next Wednesdays for that. And I'm gonna dip out right now because I'm like half falling asleep because it's 2 o'clock in the morning where I am. So
heard word, brother.
Peace.
Jeremy.
The Ortizmo. I guess we're the only ones putting in the hustle, dude. Guess we're the only one. Everybody's out partying. I need a break from what I love to do. What? What'd you say? That doesn't jive, man. That don't jive.
Who would say such a thing?
me,
right.
I want you to win. I know if I give you a great piece of content right now, given where the life cycle of your business is, it could be impactful if this goes viral. And that is what excites me. And what I don't think a lot of people know is, like, I don't do that just when I have financial, I don't have any equity at Anchor. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing that because I love the game. I love that I feel like you're doing it the right way. I think that you're respecting startup culture and entrepreneurship, and I want to deliver for you on that energy.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do. This has been great.
So I'm glad. Now I got to run to my next place. I love you. See ya. Bye.
All right, Gary. Take care.
All right. Take it. Bye-bye.
Podcast listeners, I really appreciate you giving me your ear. I respect it. I appreciate it. You want to 1-star this shit? Cool. But if you want to 5-star it, even better. Hey guys, it's Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is the Gary V Audio Experience.
In this episode, Gary gives a keynote to a real estate services group about how technology is changing the real estate market and how they need to jump in and grab the attention where it is.
Super pumped to be here. Quick little 6-hour flight, this keynote, and take a red-eye home tonight, so hustling. Look, I think there's a lot that I want to cover. I see the mics here, so I definitely want to do some Q&A during this talk as well. I've been getting some context to the audience makeup.
Oh, yeah.
And so obviously a very entrepreneurial crowd. There's a lot going on. It seems like a good amount of you have some context for me. I'm sure some of you don't. But what I really want to speak about is really just the current state of things, right? Like the thing that I think will index for anybody in this room, whether today's your first day or you've been in it for a while, whether you're in a B2B environment, a B2C environment, trying to build your personal brand, trying to sell homes, trying to start an app, whatever it may be, I want to really kind of go on the things that I see that are happening that will bring the most value. And then I think through Q&A, we'll go into the stuff that brings more individual value, and I encourage you to be selfish when you get up here and ask your questions. I think the place to start with a healthy mix here of young faces and some that are not as young, along with my face that is not as young, is the following, which is for the 20-year-old crowd in here, the early 30-year-old crowd, there's a lack of context of realizing how special the environment we are in is because it's the only one you've ever known. This is what you've grown up with. You've grown up in this environment. You've grown up with the internet. And there's a lack of understanding of how ridiculously big this is. On the other hand, the people that have been successful for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, there's an understanding that all this new stuff is different, but there is the cliche fear and curiosity versus the tried and true that is super interesting. And so for me, the thing that I want to really drill home in my opening statements is the following. I really need this audience to understand that we are obnoxiously fortunate to be in this position right this minute, because actually this is fun because I know there's a lot of real estate DNA here. I genuinely view what's happening on the internet right now similar to when some of the great cities, somebody bought up New York for fucking nothing. And when I mean nothing, I mean dollars. Not millions or 100. There was human beings who actually bought, and I don't even know, this is where I wish I did a little bit better in school, but like the Louisiana Purchase was a fucking steal. And I actually genuinely think that that's what's happening on the internet right now. Now, I think it's 10 years in. The consumer internet that I'm passionate about is really only 20 years old. It was really Windows 95 that got normal people to figure out how to get onto the internet. It was AOL, right? It's really only 20 years. But the Web 2.0 into social media internet is really only a decade old. And I think everybody here now, whether it's the presidential election or Brexit or the Arab Spring or something that happened in your family amongst 8 people, I think everybody realizes now, unlike a decade ago when I was talking about this, that this is big shit. That this is not some little cable TV extension of main TV. This is not some fad, that's going to be around for a little bit. This is the fundamental shift of how human beings interact with each other, which is the currency of our lives. And so I guess the thing that I'm trying to frame up for a lot of you right now is I don't think this room, including myself, actually understands how big of an opportunity this is in whatever you care about. You sit in this room, as I do today, caring about business aspects of your life. But this goes far beyond that. I mean, we're in a world now where just 10 years ago, if you did online dating, you were weird and awkward and lived in your mom's basement, and now it's the only way people do it. Like, we need to understand how big this really is, because when you start understanding that this is oxygen, that this in its current form and soon contact lenses, when everything is virtual reality or AR or AI or wherever it goes, that this is our currency. Literally, so many of you would struggle to function without your cell phone by your side. You would not realize the detox that you would actually go through if you didn't have your phone. You run to the Apple Store when you lose or break your phone. You cry for the 4-hour delay that you have to wait. So, and by the way, many of you are going to say,
Hiram, come on, gang.
I think it's evolution. I don't think it's sad.
Oh, my bad.
I really don't. I think it's the thing. I think people thought a lot of things were sad, like the television and the telephone and the car. People thought things are sad always when it wasn't what they grew up with, right? There's people that said, they always think it's not important until it becomes mainstream. I'm 41 and grew up on the East Coast. Hip-hop wasn't supposed to be a real thing. It is the main currency now. Like this is what always happens with humans. And so I tell you all of this because I can get into the details of what do you do on direct message on Instagram, or what does it take with work-life balance and work ethic, and how do you do Facebook ads, and all the cliche shit that I know you're gonna ask me. But before we get into that, I really want to get everybody, I feel like if the one thing I can do for everybody, if you leave here and realize that this is all just the beginning, that it's never going back, that it's way bigger than you think. I mean, I have people email me every day selling $8 million homes from one Facebook ad. Like, this is real. Like, we're here. Like, this is not coming. This is not your 14-year-old daughter. This is now. This is happening right now. And if you haven't if there are people in this room that haven't fully committed to being relevant in the mobile device for their business, they're basically not relevant. They're trading on the history of what got them here. You're trading on the word of mouth of the people that you've done business with in the past, but that dwindles every day. And if you have any interest, how many people in this room are actually retiring in the next 5 years? And I don't mean you're gonna fucking crush it and buy an island. I mean, you're just fucking old and you're finished. How many people? 5 years, raise your hands. Love it, 5, got 1, 2, great. For you, it's an interesting debate, right? Can you hold on to what got you here for the next 5? Kind of hold on to it. It'll be diminishing returns of attention and things of that nature. There'll be other young upstarts that activate against the opportunities. But for 5 years, even though that's a long time, I actually think all the stuff that I believe in the most, you could probably hold on, right? For everybody else, this is binary. You're basically in the same position right now that every person that owned a bunch of taxi medallions and black car services did the day before Uber started. For everybody else in this room, except for those 2 lovely people, who, by the way, both look pretty fucking good, and I'm not so sold they're completely done in 5. For everybody else, you're basically the owner of 4 very good bookstores in your town the day before Amazon decided to get serious. Your entire life, regardless of industry, over the next decade will be eaten up by technology. And either you're on the eating side or you're on the other side. And I don't think most people here want to get shitted out, right? right? And so for me, this is not fun games. This is like really important because you have to understand, regardless of what you do in this room, regardless, there's only one thing I'm sure of. We all trade on the same currency, and that is attention. Attention is the #1 currency in our society. Before you tell me how great you are at what you do, or how great your service is, or what you do, or how nice you're fucking dressed, because this crew rolls that way. Before you do that, you need my attention to even be able to tell me that. And if you don't have it, you fucking lost. And the attention of our society is right here. And you may think it's sad, and you may not like it, but it's the punchline. And the romance of how you want it to be, or how it used to be, is fucking irrelevant. This is reality. So now, I say to myself, if we all agree that this is it, right? That this is the dominant place for the attention of our consumers, well, then you gotta start looking at social media super differently, because social media, my friends, takes up 50% of every human being's time on this. And now all of a sudden, it's not just a nice to have, or this emerging kind of thing, or kind of cute. Now all of a sudden, it's the yellow pages, and the billboards, and the bus stop ad, and the direct mail, and the local commercial, and the TV show if you're lucky to be one of those 4 realtors, and all of it in one place. And here's where it gets crazy. There's no gatekeepers. There's nobody in between you and the person you're trying to reach on this platform except the platforms itself, which is why Facebook's such a big company. Got it? And so this is a mindset shift. I recognize that 20 to 80% of this room is not pot committed to this environment. Even the most committed young players, and when I say young, just real quick, young mentality. It's not an age thing. There's a bunch of 27-year-olds running around like it's 1942. And there's a bunch of 61-year-olds that fucking try everything and are fucking pot committed. This is a mentality. So 20 to 80% of the people in this room, like, to me, they're just not pot committed. And for me, when I know something's happening, Google in the early days, which built Wine Library, Facebook and Instagram influencers right now, you know, I'm not a poker player, but I do know this. If you have the best hand, it's a good idea to go all in. And so we have a little window here. I've been doing my thing for 20 years. Not forever, but long enough to know this. I've only seen it twice. 2001 to 2003 Google, which, oh, by the way, Amazon and eBay built their entire businesses on the back of Google. Underpriced attention. Everything still works. Somebody raised their hand, got in line, Gary, I do direct mail and it works. Mazel tov, Rick. I know that it can still work. I just also know that you can do Facebook ads as direct mail and convert 4 times more. So you spend $10,000 for X, and I can spend $10,000 for 4X's. It's not about what doesn't work or works anymore. It's what's underpriced and what's overpriced. Television commercials can work. It's just not fun to spend $1 million on them today compared to 1974 when we didn't have remote controls and actually fucking watched them. So this is what I think about, this is what I trade on, and we all know it's going only in one direction. The #1 job dream of every 13 to 16-year-old in America is to be a YouTuber and/or an influencer. That is literally what they want to be in their lives. This is now over. That's it. The amount of people that don't have cable is staggering. The amount of people that will never get to page 106 in a magazine to see your ad is staggering. Your car's gonna drive anywhere you want to go for you. It's happening now. This isn't coming. Get a new Tesla. Shit does all of it. Like, this is real. And so what I don't think people know, and why I brought up the 5-year question, is if you think back to 10 years ago, we're just getting the first iPhone. Yeah. Guys, 10 years ago, none of this shit existed. YouTube and Facebook are babies and are like for very small niches. We don't have smartphones yet. Like, where do you think this is going? So what I'm fearful of is while you sit and debate if you should be doing Facebook or Instagram influencers or Snapchat or have a blog or sort of vlog or do a podcast, while you sit and debate this minor leagues shit, which is right now the major leagues, the majors are coming. What are you gonna do about Alexa skills when people are like, Alexa, I wanna go to open houses, and Alexa tells you which open houses you're going to. And if you're not playing there, where are you, right? Like, where are you? Because what I'm most worried about is I'm worried about all of your digital DNA. If you're pushing up against this shit, you're really gonna get ran over in the next decade. You'll never be good at augmented reality if you weren't good at Facebook. I mean, right? Right? I mean, like, how are you ever gonna be ready for the next shit if you're still fighting this and like super pumped to like spend your money on a fucking bench ad? So, I guess where my energy is clearly going, since I never really know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about, is I think the stakes are higher than you think. And I think that when you wake up in 2 years and see that Ralph Lauren polo has gone out of business, and when you wake up in 2 or 3 years and see that, you know, GameStop is out of business, like when you start seeing it, and you're seeing it, right? And you could feel it. I mean, any of you that are, have you been to a mall lately? I mean, shit is sad, right? And like, and what does happen? There's a lot of youngsters in here. Let me go into a 15-year innovation talk. What does happen when we have self-driving cars and we actually enjoy our commutes? And all of a sudden, prime real estate is not as prime as it used to be, because all of a sudden, an hour and 15-minute commute, when you can do everything in it, all of a sudden becomes a more interesting thing for humans to do. You guys know macro trends. The cities in this country over the last 30 years were dead, and they've resurged over the last decade because the youth is more interested in living in the cities because the dynamics have changed. What happens when people actually figure out it's not a good idea to own a home? Because the math is super intriguing and the game's changing. And so I really want to push everybody to understand this is big stakes. This isn't, how am I going to build my personal brand on Instagram, Gary? I don't give a fuck, Ralph. This is, do you actually understand the era that you're living through? Like, this is the Industrial Revolution. This is like getting electricity. This is big shit. And this is big shit not only in your business life, but in the dynamics of who we are. All this stuff going on wherever you are on politics, this is not him or her. This is the dynamics of media in our society. This is the dynamics of all of us having media 24/7. This is what's happening. We're about to change. And so bringing it back to the micro business, that means a lot of money is about to be made and a lot of money is about to be lost. And what I haven't figured out is how many of you are willing to draw a line in the sand and say that you hate all this technology stuff and aren't willing to put in the 20 hours to read and watch videos to educate yourself out of your raw emotion when it's gonna wipe you out. And I think that's awesome. I think you deserve to go directly out of business if you're not willing to put in the work. I do. I do. If you're wrong about what's about to happen and you weren't willing to put in the work, you deserve to lose. And so that's what's gonna happen. And so I would say this, please understand that this is the beginning. We are definitely going to live, at this point in my opinion, in an augmented reality world, which means what you see happening with Snapchat and Instagram, where you have your face and then puppies and fucking Coachella things and all that stuff, that's about to go super far. You're all going to wear contact lenses in 20 years where you're seeing the real world, an augmented world, and a virtual world on an everyday basis, blended, always and forever. That's what's coming. And so look, I'm just as pissed as everybody else. And I'm not looking forward to the robots killing all of us. but they're gonna win. And so we might as well enjoy our time now. And I'd like you to be on the side of it instead of against it. I'm not super special. The reason I'm gonna win at the highest levels is I don't fight reality. I'm brutal in my complete lack of romance of how it should be and my complete investment into how it actually is. Right? And that's the, right? Guys, do you know how pissed I was that social media came along? I had digital media figured out. I was winning on email and Google AdWords. Like, I'd won. Like, it was devastating. I was like, fuck, this is gonna work. You know? And by the way, and you're gonna see it. You'll watch 53-year-old me completely be obsessed with VR, AR, AI, or whatever else that is about to be invented. I have no idea that I'm gonna believe your attention will be. And you're all gonna actually see it. The first time, nobody knew who I was. This time, I'm so associated with this stuff. When you see me in 7 years, and whatever the Facebook feed of the day is, and the video is gonna be like, you're still doing Facebook, you fucking asshole? And you're gonna be like, what? Isn't that what he believes in? No, I believe in trading attention in the day that we actually live in. I believe making my actions allow me to sell what I wanna sell. And when I say sell, I mean selling a home, a pair of sneakers, or raising awareness for Crohn's disease because my brother AJ has it, or raising money for the PTA, or whatever it may be. Selling or bringing awareness to whatever matters to me, and as we all know, what matters to you today was different than 5 years ago, and in 5 years it's gonna be different again, and that's just the way it is. And so I implore you, and I see a line starting to gather, so if you wanna start gathering in line, because I don't think I'll get to all of them, this is a good time to start moving. I implore you to understand, yes, I believe in social media. B, I think that's a slang term for the current state of the internet. You know, people call YouTube and LinkedIn social media sites. They are not. As a matter of fact, there's only one social media site left. It's called Twitter. All the other ones are just content push. There's no back and forth really in a lot of places anymore, right? So that's just a word. Don't get hung up on it. Everything you see that's happening with me is because I'm trading attention. I believe in sound. I think every person here needs to wrap their head around the following statement, which is this. You were a media company first, and then whatever else you do for a living. You have to start understanding that you're a media company. Now, that may mean, and for a lot of you, it means that that's you. You. For others, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be you, right? The Huffington Post wasn't Ariana Huffington in every post, like you could be the platform, but you better realize you're in the media business. Because the cost of being in the media business is now zero. In distribution, opportunity, in production, it's so low. It's so low. D-Rock and I did an episode of Daily V, our vlog, that came out today. My latest vlog right now on YouTube was all filmed on this. You know? So I don't want to hear your bullshit excuses that you don't have a fucking camera or the lighting and all this. Everybody's in the fucking excuse business. Every one of you is running through your head right now of why you're not in the media business or why you're not doing this, and it's all bullshit. It's because you have
decided. You saved already, Ron?
It's binary.
Mm-hmm.
This is simple. Either you're in it or you're not. Because once you make the mental decision that you're in it, maybe you invest in a nice camera instead of another fucking suit. It's on. How are you? Do you guys have to turn this on, or let's see what happens?
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, Gary, I'm Rich from Austin. Number one, I'm a retired attack helicopter pilot for the Marines, and I brought a patch for you.
Awesome.
For you and D-Rock. Can I bring these to you?
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for your service, brother. Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay, please.
All right, so real quick, I know there's a line. So I work full time. I don't have time to do what I want to do yet. My plan is this. Another pilot and I want to get together, and we want to go around to successful veterans in all types of industries that we know.
Oh, yeah.
And interview them for free. All right? I don't need your fucking money. I don't need anything. I want to show veterans who are going to transition, because it's incredibly difficult. And there's another problem. There's also a group of veterans that think they're entitled to shit. All right?
Yeah,
and we need to
right.
dispel both those rumors.
That's right.
So what I want to do is go, interview, and just paint the picture like, hey, here's what you can be. The only thing that's not allowing me to execute, and I'm overanalyzing, Danny, for sure, is that I want them to be authentic.
Take the risk. Everybody's scared to waste time when time is your #1 asset that you have. So go interview Charles, and then 3/4 of the way you're like, fuck, this guy's so full of shit, and don't show it.
Yeah. So what I mean is, I guess part of the vulgarity is authenticity, is what attracted me to you. I was like, holy shit, I've never seen a guy like this.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to hide behind whatever logo they work for or whatever, and them not to see the real picture. I want them to know, like, hey, there's still that guy or gal in uniform there, right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not sure.
How about financially? Can you do it now? Because I have a really good idea. That's why I'm asking.
I collect retirement, so that's good. And then my full-time job is great. I would have limited time, but my partner and I want to go probably 4 interviews a month. Just fly out to wherever and do what we got to do.
Great. So, I mean, your ability to get a sponsor for this is very high.
So I think that's going to be pretty sick. Like you get each and every one of us to. So it's not the same thing each one of us has. You know what I mean?
I think, you know.
Don't surprise them. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be excellent.
Just go do the interview. Do your best.
So you'll be like, oh, you're all surprised. Oh, shit.
So they can really vet. So like, that's not scary. Because then you just don't have to show it. You know, it would suck to fly somewhere and it didn't work out, but you can hire an intern or a $38,000 a year employee who could do ridiculous research on anybody to get you to 3rd and a half base, and then you watch something for 10 minutes and make a gut decision.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What's up, bro?
How are you?
So you did a video on sales versus marketing?
Yes.
About a month ago.
Yes.
So my question to you, and you alluded to it earlier when you said, you know, what happens if people decide they don't want to buy a house anymore? I'm in direct sales, been in direct sales for 7 years, and I know a lot of people in this room are. My question is, where in the future, say 5 to 10 years in the future from now, where are you pushing your chips? Are you pushing it into sales, or are you pushing it into marketing? Reason I'm asking is, you know, with Amazon and your boy Jeff Bezos and Tesla, they don't do spend tons of money on marketing or on advertising. I don't know. Sorry.
They do.
They do? Okay. So my question, I guess, is...
They both work.
They both work?
They both work.
Right, they both work.
They're the two foundations of how shit gets done. You either retarget people, affiliate, all the tactical shit that sells something, or what is much more interesting, which is people don't even realize why they bought the shit they're wearing right now, because they were marketed to.
Right.
Marketing and branding is just grown-up sales.
So in the future, when people are able to buy anything they want to and just go through an experience on their phone, right? Does that cut out the direct sales portion of it?
Of course it could.
Okay, so where are you putting your money in 5 to 10 years for like the car industry, the home
cold breeze outside. I opened up my window right now. I got to turn on the AC conditioner.
Is it squeezes the middleman out, because the internet is the middleman. And so, yeah, I mean, I think I'm putting my money on whoever's making shit, because they're going to be able to, at a much higher level, do the sales and marketing themselves and not be at the mercy of the middle. However, that market will always exist, because guess what? A lot of people aren't good at sales and marketing, right? So I wouldn't worry, you're a young dude, I wouldn't worry, like, your sales skills translates forever.
Anything, right?
100%.
I just started the business, and that's why I'm...
But I would say that make sure you don't become too transactional, because that's when you become your most vulnerable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gary, what's up?
Life is good, my man.
Hey, Gary, what's going on? Danny Gould, selling Silicon Valley. It's my D-Rock right here, Dusty. So I have a YouTube channel right now, Facebook channel. Really right now, I'm doing a lot of just daily vlogs, right? And so, you talk about reverse engineering and bringing value, disproportionate value to those that you're trying to market to, as opposed to what you expect in return. And right now my business is doing really well, my real estate business, right? But I'm looking at this vlog thing as more of a long-term, like personal brand, celebrity type of endeavor, right? So then.
Nice.
I understand how to bring value to my community.
Yeah, so King's Letter
then, like,
is saying, I don't know if you're listening on my stream, Hiram, but I'm listening to Gary V, and he's talking about the future and VR and AR, and things are like 20 years away, but King's Letter said, here's probably what's going to happen to collectibles. Is that you're just going to get a hologram plate and have it on your desk. And you're going to get models that get displayed on that little hologram plate for you. I was like, yeah, that might be a direction that it could go,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Imagine you could sculpt on a, like that, you know what I mean? Doing a sculpt like that. Like just on your desk with a little hologram that you could sculpt around and I can spin it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, good thought there. That's the reason I love our audience, man. They're smart. They're creative.
People that I don't even know.
That or that are not in real estate, right?
Or they'll be like
real estate or have no interest in real estate.
Digital hologram sculpting. That'd be pretty trippy.
I think you've only got one move to really be successful, which is to not pander to the camera and to live your true life and see if people give a fuck. That's the right answer, right? Because either they are or they aren't, but the thing that you need to trade on is your truth, because that's the thing that's scalable because it's always there. You know how fun it is for me to always have to be me? It's super exhausting to try not be yourself, and it doesn't scale, and people taste it. So the reason reality TV worked was it was a little further than acting, but it's still full of shit, which is why vlogging's better than reality TV. And I think the people that you see pop are really in their zone. They're not trying to become a celebrity per se.
Right.
They want what celebrity brings, which is celebrity is the #1 arbitrage in our society. Like, it is the #1 arbitrage in our society. It's leverage at scale. But I think when people try to pander to it, it comes off. So my biggest advice for you, man, is to just live your actual life. I think the biggest problem for the modern young male entrepreneur, vlogger personality is they're fronting to a lifestyle that isn't always true to the reality of what they're living. And then it just gets convoluted, right? It's like, like people are starting to already get called out for like making pretend they're taking private flights, but they're not. That's hit this, right? Yeah. So I would give you a really good piece of advice from somebody who I think really knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. Just live it. Just live your fucking life. Like you'll do much better.
Sweet, thank you.
Take care, Dusty.
Holy shit. This is a dream. First, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you from the bottom of my heart and just express my deepest gratitude for all the content you put out. And just since I started listening to you a couple months ago, just how big of an impact you've made, not only in my business, but my life. I think everyone here can attest to that. And I just want to give you a huge round of applause for that. Thank you. one thing that I've really been paying attention to you with lately is about don't listen to what I say, watch what I do.
Yeah.
And so for me, in business, what I'm trying to do right now is just really scale and build a great culture and build a great team.
Awesome.
So I want to know, what do I need to do to earn the opportunity to fly out to VaynerMedia for the day and just be a fly on the wall and shadow you? Because I just want to learn, and I just want it so bad, and I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Done.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's it going, Gary?
Right, you don't get it if you don't ask.
My name's Mike. That was pretty freaking awesome what you just did for that guy. You're probably gonna change his life. So I'm a real estate agent with Intero. I just want to know what's.
Probably my favorite thing about the real estate industry is the team dynamics, right?
So what's the future for real estate agent? You think we're gonna be taken out by?
I don't think so. Humans are not going anywhere until the robots kill us. So here's how I think about it. I think there's a tidal wave of technology coming. I framed that up, right? But I don't think it wipes out humans. I think it wipes out humans that decide not to get their surfboard and jump on it.
Right.
So I think what's going to happen to real estate agents is, first of all, the real estate industry is fascinating because it reminds me, the tech industry, the startup tech world now reminds me a lot of real estate now that I've been in it, because the real estate industry has cycles when it's so good that losers win. And it's just true. It's just true. And so, but it's not just the real estate industry. Wall Street has that. The tech industry has it. But it is extreme in real estate because the crashes are extreme.
Right.
Right? So I think I would tell you, far more scary to me than what's happening with technology in real estate is people's blind belief that it's always going to be good, and they over-leverage themselves. I'm just so fascinated by, and when I say over-leverage, there's people that buy up stuff and you're over-leveraged and you have debt. And then there's just people that are just selling and making commissions, but they're over-leveraging themselves in the way they're treating their lifestyle. Like they think it's a good idea to buy shit and not save money as if the market will always be good, and then when the market's not good, then it's not good. So I think real estate is fine. I don't think there's any major stuff happening other than I think that the people in this room that use the new technologies to build their firm or personal brand within it are going to disproportionately outshine people. And the people I'm most worried about are the people who have very good reputations in their market, because that's always been consistent for the last 100 years, that you can trade on your reputation and word of mouth. And I think they don't realize that the word of mouth is about to shift to only the digital environment. And so like literally there's not even going to be an opportunity for people to like give you the word of mouth, because they're going to be endorsing people with a share on Facebook instead of giving your name out.
What do you mean?
And it's going to happen faster than people think. So that's my fear.
What does that mean?
Tried and true reputations in their market and have seen generations before them trade on that, and they got caught because they're in this moment.
I don't understand, because you're not going anywhere. So why are you talking? Why are you talking like that?
What's your favorite Logic 3-1 song?
I'm gonna sleep 5 hours and get up at 6.
No, you ain't, dude. You're gonna be asleep until, let's see what time it is. You're gonna be asleep till noon.
That he just dropped?
No, man.
Let me give you a different
I'm gonna get up at exactly 6.
You know what I really like about him?
If you can count to 1, 2, 3, you can go. If you can count to 1, 2, 3, you can go.
Bobby and Russ and Kyle.
And then you have to, well, actually count it backwards, and then you can go.
In the world on everything I've been talking about
ready?
for the last 20 minutes.
Are you ready?
Got it? That's the game.
Are you ready?
Ready.
You guys. Yeah, probably throw like a little 6 or 7 coffee. It's a quick shower.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You ready?
Morning stream on maybe. Huh?
You ready?
What? Yeah. Blast off.
Because I need to get back to work and you bother me.
Get back to work. Work.
Bet you better work.
Hey, what time are you crashing out, Ron?
Right there at 30 minutes. Yeah, still gotta kind of want to throw some more flats on here, some more flat colors and some more things because there's not enough contrast in the background. So I want to kind of get that.
You're looking great, bro.
Thanks, dude. Off a little bit.
Pretty awesome scene.
That Lang, dude.
Are you planning on taking it to Substance Painter?
Oh yeah, this is going all the way. I'm gonna see if I can get it
nice.
to Unreal.
Cool. Oh, you should do that. Put it in Unreal, a little bit of lighting on it.
Uh-huh,
Little cinema. Checking out the scene.
And plus, I need something like game ready in my portfolio. So. Because all my stuff is like render man. It's not. Thanks,
man. Get that glacier for gleaming.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be my favorite part is finding the material to do that. King's Letter, is that your own thing you're working on, or is it or it's working for something? This is a personal thing I'm doing for like a study. Ryan Lang's always been an inspiration to me, and I've recently got the confidence to attempt to do one of his simpler images, and it plays with lighting and all that. And I really want to do a scene where something was happening and capture that moment. And so it was either this or Frank Frazetta, and Frank Frazetta is going to take way too long. So Ryan Lang gets it. So yeah, you can find him on ArtStation. Ryan Lang, Lang, draws, DRAWS. But yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad you like it, Hiram. I think it's coming along pretty well.
Chilling right here, Ron. You know what? I'm just gonna lay back right here, just watch you scope, bro.
All right, Dan. Well, don't. All right. Well, I'm gonna count to 3, 2, 1, and then I'm gonna get back to work.
All right. You know what? I might hang actually. So if I could still scope a little bit more from my bed.
Yeah, dude, don't fucking press out.
Board.
Wow. What's up, Gary? So I'm 23 years old, entrepreneur. I believe it's in my DNA, and you've really made me question that. So the reason why I wanted to ask you this question, been kind of holding out. Every one of us in this room has to battle mental strength, right? Sure. Like when shit hits the fan, your bank accounts are negative, it's your third failure, right? Like what do you do? So we hold on to the optimism, right? And that comes from mental strength.
100%, especially when your optimism is blind and doesn't have practicality wired into it.
So my question for you is, if you are an entrepreneur and it's in your DNA, and you listen to your intuition, and that's what gives you your optimism, how do you create the difference between
thanks, King's Letter,
as the source or intuition?
That it's looking great.
You have to make sure that your intuition is speaking, not your delusion. Right, that's the key, and by the way, they're kissing cousins.
Yeah.
So here's what I would say. I would say that in my delusion, I'm an athlete. Right? Like I've got competitive spirit. I'm a good team captain type. There's a lot of things there, but going onto the playing field, I'm going to consistently lose at the highest levels and can't make a living doing it. So here's what I would say. I don't want you at 23, first of all, at 23, you're golden, right? You're golden because you could literally do nothing right for the next 7 years and still be young as fuck. The only piece of advice I'm gonna give you is do not collect debt. And so if you have already, and you have credit card debt or what have you, do you or don't you?
I mean, minimal. AR is above debt, so you know, your balance is out, right?
Get rid of that. Like, go work at fucking 7-Eleven. I don't give a fuck. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Never buy another thing in your life and live with 9 dudes and do your entrepreneurial thing for the next decade.
Cool. Thanks, Gary.
How you doing, Gary?
Really good.
Excited to see you, man. I watch your videos all the time.
Thank you.
I have a brand called Next to Get. Next to Get's all about taking action.
Yep.
You can't be next to get unless you take action.
Yep.
So I know you love the Jets.
I do.
So I got you a shirt that says Next to Get the New York Jets.
I love it. I'll wear it. Give it to me.
One more question.
Go ahead. Go up there. Make sure they hear you. Thank you, my man.
So I know you say when you get the Jets, that's going to be like the worst day of your life.
Yes.
But it actually should be one of the best because
I have
then
to
you got to
win
figure out how to
win
get them
Super
and
Bowls.
be
I
next to
agree.
get the Super Bowl.
I
Exactly.
agree.
They got to be next to get the Super Bowl.
Look, I think the reason I say that is, there's a little truth to it. I think for me, no question, one of the reasons I think that I'll be successful, it's really funny that you asked this question prior to the advice that I just gave. Like, for me, it sounds exciting to be 23, have no money, live in a basement for 7 years, and try to do your thing. I genuinely like that because I love the game, right? I love the game. And so, to me, that's what a true bred entrepreneur is, which is it has zero to do with the stuff. It has to do with the game. And so this game that I made up for myself somewhere around 4th grade to buy them has been the narrative in the background for me the whole time. And so there's a little bit of that going away. But at the same token, the reason I talk about it is I don't want people to get confused. I want them to realize that if you fall in love with the journey, that is the ultimate gift in our lives.
Absolutely.
Because that's happiness, right? Like we're spending so much time at work. Like when you actually just get practical and look at the data, the amount of time that you will all spend in your careers as a percentage to your overall time on earth is extraordinarily high. So it's super important to make that something about more than dollars if you're unhappy. If you're neutral and money's there, awesome. I'm just scared of people that complain, that's all. I would tell you that 98% of my advice is for people that complain. Why in the world would I have advice for you if you're good? Like, you're good.
So one more thing I have to ask is, I would love to be able to meet with you and maybe you can become a mentor or a business partner. I know you can help me grow.
There's no shot.
I gotta ask. Gotta ask.
I just don't have that bandwidth.
I get you.
Like that dude that got lucky and got the first thing and is gonna come to visit Vayner, I'll see him for 4.8 seconds.
That's all right.
You know, like, and it might turn into 19 minutes or it might turn into 4 hours, but like, I never want to bullshit somebody. And the one thing I don't have is time.
Gotcha.
Time is everything. It's why the mobile device is so important. It's saving you time.
Check me out at Next to Get. Check me out.
I will.
Yo, Gary, how are you feeling today?
Phenomenal.
That's great to hear. It's awesome just talking to you. I've been following your content for the last year or so.
Thank you.
And you taught me what hustle really was. I thought I was working. I own my business for the last 4 years. I'm 20 years old now. So I started speaking on teen suicide prevention when I was 16.
Love it.
After some experience I went through. And right now I'm really growing my media. And I'm really focusing on being a media company. So I started podcasting. And the question I have is with daily vlogging.
Yes.
So this might also, D-Rock might jump in, but I'm logistically thinking of daily vlogging, and what's the process of your daily vlog getting up on YouTube? Do you post it the day after you film it? Is it the next week?
We've done a bunch of stuff. I think the first couple of weeks, it took us like 3 days. Then we went through a long period of doing it the next day.
Okay.
And now we're like on a 2-day delay, even though we have more people. I mean, D-Rock went through a hardcore year of like filming the whole thing and then having to edit it and getting it out the next day. I think you can do anything. I mean, I think I think you can't cripple yourself, right? My buddy Casey stopped vlogging, so the next day I was like, I'm gonna vlog every day to pick up the thing. But then literally in my vlog yesterday, I was like, you know, the summer's coming. I feel like I need a little more time with my family and don't want to be thinking about producing content, so maybe I won't. Like, I think it's about reverse engineering what you can get done. And for me, you know, only 3 years ago, there was 3 people on my team making content. You know, it took me 4 years to build up VaynerMedia to have 1 person work with me on my content. Prior to that, it was just me. And now I'm at 15. I mean, you build and you do different things. And so I think the process is as fast as you fucking can.
Okay, so do you think do you think a daily vlog is valuable enough over something like sales? Because I do a lot of sales to high schools, colleges, conferences.
This is the classic branding versus sales, right?
Right.
I think you need to sell at the most minimum to make you whole for whatever you need, pay your bills, right? And then invest as much as you can in building your brand.
So media comes after sales. You would recommend?
You gotta pay your fucking bills, bro.
Exactly. Well, right now I'm living at home.
Well, then you're fucking smart. So to me now it just becomes a question of how much money you want.
Exactly.
My big recommendation is, listen, I only give advice that I took myself. I'm a big fan of that. I took over my family liquor store business and I grew it from a 3 at this window that I'm talking about, from a 3 to a $45 million business in my early 20s, right? I'm 27 years old. I built a $45 million business and I was paying myself $37,000 a year. But I wasn't the typical dude that needed money as a leverage to get girls.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is I don't need a lot of money right now, so I'm wondering whether to build myself up as a speaker without really worrying about the sales aspect of it.
Of course.
Right. And as you say that, I think that's what Gary Vee would say. I hear your voice in my head sometimes, and I think Gary Vee would say that. Sometimes I dream about you answering my. Actually, I had a question earlier. Last night I dreamed about you answering my question. So your content is so effective.
Now, off of that little story, watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying.
Yes.
Got it?
Got it. Thank you so much.
How much time left? 20? Good. 20.
Hi, Gary Vee. First, I want to say thank you. Again, everything, all of your podcasts, all of your videos on YouTube are kind of my real education. College was just the paperwork. I am a marketing manager for a nonprofit organization, which is a unique position that I'm very fortunate to have. Now, part of my job, and it's a new job, is I'm building up our presence on social media. I have 3 different target audiences. I have the women we serve, the volunteers, and donors.
Yep.
My question to you is, does it make sense to use one platform, or each platform?
But one account?
Right, one account to target all 3?
Yes.
Okay, instead of focusing on one platform per group.
Yes, because the way we consume content in social is not binary. The content finds who it needs to find.
Okay.
It's not email 1996 where people open up 90% of their email. Got it? It's just one feed. We don't even know who the fuck it's coming from. You're looking at the content, not the little logo that's delivering it. Got it?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Barry. My name is John. First of all, it's a dream come true. 6 months ago, I wrote it down. I'm going to meet Gary Vaynerchuk, and here I am right now.
Good shit, bro.
It's awesome. And then I met Danny Morel. Want to thank Danny real quick for having that vision and clarity, for making it happen. I'm with Intero Real Estate, so what's up, guys? It's actually my first week in real estate, and I'm super excited. I'm door knocking. My question is...
What were you doing last week?
What's that?
What were you doing last week?
I was calling and door knocking and hustling.
Love it.
And I'm doing Facebook Live, I'm doing videos, all the stuff. But my question is, when your parents is saying, when you bring the clients or talk about the clients that, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, oh, you have to make sure all this stuff is correct, oh, what if it embarrasses us, what would you say to that?
Well, I would say your parents are probably right a lot more than you realize.
Right.
If I was in real estate for the first week,
Right.
What I would probably do, so like I'm now actually super interested in watching one of your Facebook Lives because what I'm curious about is, are you faking it till you make it, or are you documenting the journey of a young man trying to learn the industry? My intuition is number one. What I would do if I was in week one, what team were you on again? Let me see all the people that wooed again. Me, if I was standing there, I would straddle up real close to all those wooing people and spend 1 year shutting the fuck up and listening. Me. Because then you'll learn. You'll taste. Then you'll know what to say. You're not gonna lose your charisma and showmanship. You're a baby. You just don't know what the fuck you're talking about yet.
I have a follow-up question. Should I keep doing Instagram stories, just documenting and...
Dude, I think it's far more interesting. It was the advice I gave that other young man. Tell your truth. A lot of, you may lose a lot of people who are like, I'm not going with this dude on his 3rd week. But if you're actually running a marathon, in 6 years, you could have everybody who's buying their first house.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
I think, now I'm gonna pander to the crowd. How many people over 40? Right, so the thing that I think is super interesting for me, for everybody that just raised your hands, nothing's changed. Like technology is not gonna allow bad things to all of a sudden populate, right? Like tried and true is tried and true. All that technology is doing is exposing things. You guys haven't changed because of all this technology. You've just been exposed.
Hey, Gary.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here, and Danny. I'm really excited. I saw a video that you're doing the other day about success, and that somebody who's an entrepreneur and makes $150,000, that's a lot higher form of success than someone who's 9 to 5, not doing what they want, making the same amount of money. Yeah, if they're happy.
It's not about being a job or an entrepreneur. My trading desk is on happiness. My point there was, if you're making $150,000 a year at being a lawyer and you're not pumped, or you could be making $98,000 a year selling slime on Instagram.
I'll see you later on.
Whatever, dude.
I think it's
all right, man.
Took a little nap.
I'm just blown away by people that
all
are
right, well, sleep well, dude.
primarily be dramatically less happy for an extra $8,000.
Peace.
So they can go on a fucking cruise, bro.
No, it's just you and me, guys.
So my question was based on that delineation there.
Yeah.
How should people be thinking about their success? You also talk about natural-born entrepreneurs. Like, as much as you would want to be LeBron, that takes a certain amount of natural talent. So what can you speak about success and the role that patience plays in that?
Let's go. Instead of that, what are you asking me? What's your situation?
My situation is I'm new, right? I'm listening to everything that you're saying. Days sometimes don't go well, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn on Gary Vee, see what he has to say, try to get some golden nuggets. And I want to know, a big thing that you talk about is patience, and that role that plays when you're young and you're starting. And so I wanted to kind of hear what you say, so I could kind of put that in.
Who are you playing this game for? Is super interesting to me. So one of the tough things that a lot of young people in this room have is they've got chips on their shoulder because they want to prove their mom wrong, because they want to prove that their older sister isn't the only star in the family. Where I'm going with this is very simply, almost everybody in this room is living their lives to the judge and jury of somebody outside of themselves. And that fucking blows. And so where I'm going with you is, there's a lot of questions I'd like to ask, but the first one is, for what and for who? The reason I win, there's a scene, it's really funny because I was born in Russia, in the former Soviet Union. There's a scene in Rocky IV where Drago loses at the end, but he takes the mic and he's like, fuck you. He talks in Russian, I understood it. He was basically saying, fuck you, Russia, that wanted me to beat this America. I was fighting for myself. I was in this ring for myself. The reason I'm winning, young man, is because I'm in this ring for myself. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about me. Nobody. Now, that is a that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with my DNA compounded by extremely strong parenting and environment, right? So I don't say that as I'm cool. I'm telling you my truth. And I'm trying to get as many people as close to that as possible, because I don't have the answers for you, but what I can tell you is if you do it for yourself, if you're judging yourself, shit gets real easy. I have 0 bad days because I'm in that binary place of knowing my intent and doing what I do, and then the only thing that can drag me down is outside forces around the health of my family and friends. And luckily for me, the far majority of those days aren't going to be the critical days where I lose some of them, right? That's it, man. Like, what are you trying to do? Is it about the money? Is it about proving something to somebody? Because if you're trying to prove it to yourself, you have your whole life to do that. You have your whole life to do that. Guys, life. As a lot of you know, I love football. Let's call it 80 years. It's getting better, even closer to 90. Just break them down in 4 quarters. Like, do you really, this is why I hate flashy 25-year-old young entrepreneurs. Do you really want to be up 21-0 in the second quarter and lose 37-28? Because you sure are acting like it. So, that's what I'm intrigued by, bro.
So what am I? Are you asking me the question, or that's it? I mean, I'm confused, man.
I'm asking you to figure out who the judge.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last question. I do a video every day, 30 seconds or less, with people on their favorite quotes. Can I do them with you before we leave?
Yep.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Can I give you my card?
Sure. Hi. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Didn't realize I was coming to Right Hook Con.
So,
go ahead.
So I'm not a real estate agent. I own my own clothing company. My company turned 5 yesterday. So
congrats.
Thank you. We're a wholesale company, and my target audience actually is women over 40.
Okay.
And we do.
Yeah, I'm a female over 40, motherfuckers.
So we're wholesale, and we sell to a bunch of different stores. We are very successful in wholesale. And
are you doing direct to consumer yet?
We have a very small part of our business, only about 5% of our business that's sold.com.
Are you
but
trying to grow that?
Yes, our challenge is our demographic buying online. I know Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, the younger generation, they buy online. That's
you know
not
you're
a problem.
Completely out of your mind, right? Like, completely.
Well, we've done surveys. We've asked our customers.
Fuck your surveys.
I'm trying to figure out what the best platform is for my age range.
Facebook.
And converting that to a Facebook store. Or
no.
Selling it.
Driving them to your .com. Like, do you know how much fashion is sold to 40 to 60-year-old women in e-commerce in this country?
A lot.
Okay, because you just told me your demo is not doing that. Do you know what I mean? You're just you might not know how to do that.
That's my challenge. I don't know how to
shit.
On the wholesale side, yes, we know that part, but on the retail end of it, it's just trying to figure out what best avenue
You need to invest your money into bringing somebody who has a .com, direct-to-consumer, fashion female background, and let her or him be your director of e-com, direct-to-consumer, and go do your thing. You're making it convenient to your strengths and weaknesses, which is the quickest way to go out of business.
And that's not.
You know what I mean?
Plan, yeah.
So I think you know that. I can tell. So I don't know your business, but I would make a little less money and immediately hire somebody who can flat out and call references. Go hire somebody who's sold, to that lovely lady on the internet, and then hire them, and then when you hire them. Don't go, okay, great, I got Ricky or Sally, and go do your thing. You get real fucking close and you siphon that information out because it's your fucking company, and you don't want that to grow to 38% of your business, and then Rick's got all the fucking leverage.
Right.
Hey guys, last question, guys, last question.
Sorry, everybody in line.
Yeah, sorry.
He's a real dick.
Hey. My name's Delisir. Thank you for the motivation. I actually think I look up to you because I'm also an immigrant, and you give me a good example that success can actually be reached no matter where you come from. So thank you for that.
Immigrants have the advantage.
Absolutely.
They really do. And by the way, American-born people dominate, but the advantage is we know the alternative. My kids are fucking gonna be losers. Like, you know, it's just hard when you've got it and don't work for it. So I'm glad that's the case, but I want you to realize how good of an advantage you actually have.
Yeah, actually, my youngest brothers actually tell me all the time. They say, well, you just work harder because you're an immigrant and you have the immigrant mentality.
And you should look them dead in the face and say, "That's right, motherfucker."
I'm actually recording it, so you'll hear it for sure.
And then also tell them that you're also working smarter. Now what, dick?
It's all right here.
I hate that fucking argument. Gary, yeah, it's cool, you hustle, but I work smart. Me too, dickface, now what?
Yeah, I do both. So here's my situation. I recently started a business on my own.
Good for you.
Thank you. And so it's been going pretty well. It's a retail business. It's a brick and mortar business. And I know that you actually talk about how brick and mortars are possibly going out of business soon.
If their economics are too tied into unrealistic leases and they don't have alternatives, right? So remember how I said like everything in media can work, it's what's underpriced and overpriced? Retail is not gonna die, people. It's just, retailers are not gonna pay $87 a square foot when the way we buy now, it should be 61. Got it?
Got it.
And instead of spending their money on fixtures, they may allocate 25% of their space for you to drink coffee or for a band to be there. They're gonna need to draw, they're gonna have to change. This is all about change. So that's what's on my mind. Keep going.
So my thing is, I have an opportunity now, because the business is doing well, to expand into a second location, which is also brick and mortar. But
Let me give you a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Make whatever projections you have or whatever your business is currently doing, just siphon out 20% of it. Like just pretend you lost 20% of it, and if the math works, then go for it.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Just anticipate the decline.
The 20% decline, is that over
That's my intuition that the macroeconomic climates of what retail is doing will affect you. You may not even ever feel that. You may feel 50% of it, but you can't be blind. Well, what do you sell?
I sell fitness supplements.
Yeah, fuck, man. Like, people buy that shit at scale on the internet. So like, don't get fucking crazy. Like, keep that in mind.
Yeah, so I sell the stuff online as well. So my question was whether I should take the second brick and mortar store and continue doing business online, or if I should just take that full lump of money that I would invest into a brick and mortar store, which got me here in the first place, and just take it all and invest it in my e-commerce.
What gets you somewhere is irrelevant to where you're going. Got it?
Perfect.
So I think you know the answer. You don't need to pay homage to that fucking store that got you there.
Gotcha. Okay. And then this other question too is kind of interesting.
No, that's it.
No,
it's not fair to
I told you he was
else.
a dick.
Yeah,
all right, well, thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You know what? Gold digger, because I like that. One more. Go.
Thank you. Is it all right if I get a picture with you, Gary?
Good.
You made me, you helped me realize that I need to quit my job selling cars so I can actually go into business for myself. So I'd like to thank you for that. And I'd really like a picture with you.
Come on, no, get up here. Come on.
You can come up and you can ask. Go ahead. Oh, you're taking a picture. Got it. Okay. Nice to meet you, man. Good luck.
Hi, Gary. Oh my gosh. Okay. I came down here from Northern California just to say thank you for all of the content you put out, because I found you when I was at a really tumultuous part of my life, and my life just being.
Hey guys, it's Gary V, Nerd Chuck, and this is the Gary V audio experience. Only on a Sunday would I have the audacity to put out a 3-hour podcast. This is me doing a meetup in New York City at Washington Park, and Washington Square Park, excuse me. And I hope you enjoy it. There is unlimited gems, nuggets, silver fucking coins, Just pay attention. I think you'll get it. I think spending time debating or saying to yourself, I have A-level talent, like, I've never had that conversation. Like, it's good to have that belief, but truth is, like, it's gonna manifest one way or the other. Like, no A winner ever lost. You understand? So, like, what I would say is, like, don't worry about proving that to the world or even yourself. Just do. And then the actions will then eventually tell the story if you are or you aren't. Whether you believe you have A-level talent, he doesn't believe it, it all doesn't matter at the end. Right? At the end, it plays out to be the way it is.
I understand.
What's great about business life and life is it's not like sports where like other people control your outset. You're in control. You got it.
You're doing a lot for me, man. You have no idea.
Thank you
so much.
You're welcome.
How's it going? I'm Taylor. Nice to meet you. I just want to get a picture. Sure.
Thank you, man.
Bro, I wouldn't blame you, son. I'm fucking shook as shit, too.
Oh, I am in the 10,000 hours Kingslayer, the Shiflet Brothers group. I'm not sure which one that is.
Hey, Gary, Nick. Nice to meet you, man. Good, how are you? Got a quick picture? Yeah. You're looking jacked, by the way, Gary.
Hey, get it swole.
Got it? Thank you.
Thank you, man. Real pleasure. Real pleasure. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no problem.
What's up, man? My name's Ben. How are you?
Thank you.
Photo. Yeah, about checking out the new meditation space. So I'm looking forward to that.
I appreciate it, man.
I just wanted to say hi and just say thanks for helping positive.
This kind of price from the barbershop that's up.
Changed my business stuff on the
So we're kind of very
selfish legacy people that can do a whole thing. But if you're going to do it in a third party, it's got to be a human being is going to have to be the person that carries that torch. So while you build platform and the internet is, just keep that in mind because that's how it actually works.
Yeah.
That's just proven in all societies across human race for the last fucking 1,000 years. It's what we do.
Okay.
Like we don't remember what Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Barack Obama and John F. Kennedy. They're not the only person that thought that, but they're the person that dragged it.
Yeah. I learned recently that Martin Luther King was like recruited.
Oh, I didn't know about that. What's the name of the what's the name of that group?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No, it's actually I really do get it.
That's the answer.
So
That's
there
always
can still
been
be a peopleful movement beneath the leader, but the leader is the leader. And
I'm not the person that invented or like created like pure honest entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I'm just the person. Got it?
Got it. I got it. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love it. Sure. Yeah.
Can I sign this? Of course you can hug me. Coming out, man. Okay.
Be careful, your bag is open.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Wish you well.
Actually, I kind of want you to stay. It's perfect that you just segued the conversation.
All right, cool. I'm here.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, the biggest difference in my life than anyone else has ever walked into this. The first video I ever saw was the You're Gonna Die video when that shit walked up to me in my car. That shit woke me on a fucking unbelievable level. And it kind of really made me figure out what I want to do with my life and my hustle. And my hustle is kind of different. I'm not really so much a businessman, but I love politics. My hustle is I want to run for president in 2052.
Daniel.
And the thing you need to do is you don't need to do a system. You need to create a whole party, a political party that all of these people here will 100% join because everyone believes in everything you're saying. Fiscal responsibility, but be fucking kind to people. And we would get a higher generational movement and fundamentally change the way this country operates forever. And I just want to say thank you so fucking much.
You're welcome, brother. Makes me super happy.
It's like the soul, the heart.
I'll vote for you, man.
Yeah, of course. That was so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Hey, man, I'll vote for you. Fuck yeah.
You are leading the 2052 presidential election. Woo!
You're vice president?
Awesome. Real pleasure.
By the way, I gotta be a little selfish here. I would love to work for you I'd literally work 100 hours a week on the fucking weekends if it was possible, just to make money to pay you so I could work for you.
I appreciate it. So send me an email, Gary at Gary. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Awesome. Thanks for coming. Hey, man.
I'm Sabbath. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
First off, I really want to say thank you so much for all the real shit that you put out there, because I feel there's a lot of people that put out a lot of things that are just trying to sell you shit.
Yes.
And their master online course.
Chivlet Brothers
And I've
Sculpting
gotten caught up
4.
in that, honestly, and like, it sucks, you know, and you're so real because there's no like ulterior
there it is.
motive to you. You
I
just
didn't
want
even
to
finish typing it.
show people the right way to do things.
Ooh, thanks, man.
I know, and that's why you get this. You know, you don't have a ton of people behind you like hating on you. You're real. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you, brother.
And quick question. So, as I have immigrant parents, and
I got you
like,
next. Don't worry.
They're kind of old, and how do you balance like
Not
trying to
letting
take
them
care
down and do your thing?
Kind of. How do you take care of them without like doing something stupid for money, like something like quick cash? You know what I mean?
100% I know. So I think the question becomes how much, like, I think that's a different kind of conversation that you have to have with them, which is taking care of people is all relative, right? So like everybody that lives in this, everybody that's in New York City right this second has a very different point of view of being taken care of than the people that D-Rock and I saw in Ghana 2 days ago,
that.
right? Like, so I think to me the question is, what is being taken care of? Like, so let's make sure, like, being taken care of is not like I'm gonna buy my mom's a really nice car. Right. So I think the question is, do they want you to take care of them? What are they expecting from you? Or is this some romantic thing that you've created for yourself? That's where it starts.
A little of both. Like,
I'm sure.
They, you know, like my mom's like super old, she can't work.
Right.
And
So-
same with my dad. And
Right.
like, I just want to make sure that they have a place to live.
Right. So I think the question becomes, like, there's only two ways to make money: the right way and the wrong way. Right. And so your talent on making money the right way is going to predicate how fast you can pull it off. There's no magic. Like, you're asking a binary question. Like, hey, how do I not come up with spammy shit or do quick cash stuff? But even though I want to do the spammy shit because if I make $28,000, that can mean something for my parents. Right. That's a question you have to make. Look, you're talking to somebody who thinks it's appropriate to steal if you're homeless.
Right.
Like, I understand the logic. So like, when I tell people like, don't do dumb shit, that's like, hey, don't like rip people off so you can get a Lamborghini.
Right.
If you feel like not the best about what you do, but the sole purpose is it's something you have to do right now because your parents are getting evicted, who the fuck am I to judge, right? So like, I think that's the calibration. You've got to figure out how serious is it.
Thank
Because
you so much.
the longer you can wait to do the right thing, always the better.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming,
so
man.
much.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Can you take a picture?
She's a picture girl.
Of course.
All right. Ready? 1, 2. There you go.
Awesome.
Cool.
Appreciate it, man.
Make that
Have a
my
good
pleasure,
night.
man. Take care.
Andrew?
Andrew.
2052.
No, yeah, I have one right here.
You got it. My pleasure. Thanks for coming.
What's up,
What's up,
Gary?
man? How are you?
Thanks so much for the motivation.
Of course, man.
You are like fucking fire in the morning, man. I just
Thank
want to
you,
get a
man.
picture with
You
you.
got it. Awesome.
Thanks so much,
Thanks for
man.
coming
Don't
out.
stop, please.
I won't. Take care.
Thanks.
Hey guys, it's an honor to meet you.
Thank you,
I just
man.
drove from Philly over here, driving like a maniac to get here in time.
I'm glad we made it, man.
Yeah. The Gadget
That's
Museum.
commitment.
So-
People were tweeting like, "Oh fuck, I'm in Brooklyn." I'm like, dude. I'm like,
I saw it at 8:20.
I'm like, take an
8:20. I
take an
laid
Uber,
down.
dick. Like,
I laid down to take a nap at 8:20 because I'm exhausted from hustling all week. And then I Snapchat. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do this. So I just jumped in.
I love it, man. Thanks
So
for being here.
the GadgetMuseum.com. The Gadget Museum is a museum in Philly, attracting a lot of tourists. But it's free. The point is market research for the inventors.
Understood.
So my question is how much do you think I can charge per month or contract for an inventor to get all that traction from tourism into that store? Like South Street, if you know, it's like a really big
I know it
street.
super well.
So, because the game is market research. That's what I'm selling. Everything else is free.
Do you have any feel for what the research is worth? Have you sold it to anybody?
I just got the place. I'm going to the convention in Pittsburgh on Tuesday to.
Just I would walk into that convention as if you already have the report, or like the data and like price it differently to every single person.
Yeah.
Like you don't know yet.
Or ask at first, because they
wouldn't.
spend a lot of money.
I don't think asking people like, hey, how much would you pay for this is the right strategy. I think the right strategy is running the gamut and being like, hey, I've got this report for $1,000. Hey, I've got this report for $5,000. Hey, I've got this report for $10,000.
I mean, they put their invention in the store, and over the months, as people watch and how they interact with it, there's a 360 camera.
I get it. It's valuable.
Right, very valuable.
I just don't know how much it's worth.
Okay.
And I'm giving you a really practical answer for you to figure out how much it's worth.
Straight up ad?
Like, go to that, you're going to this conference, if it's right, literally, I would go to every single person, don't ask them how much they would pay for it, tell them how much it is, and then taste the reaction of the first 30 people, and then now on the 31st person, you know what to charge. So like, hey, it's $500. Cool, I'll take it. Cool. Hey, it's $8,000. No. Hey, it's $4,000, $1,000, $200. Hey, it's 500. Hey, it's 500. No, too much. Hey, it's 500. No, too much. Fuck, was it 500? Did that guy overpay? Got it?
And in the time till then, focus on all the value I can bring to them.
Correct.
Like max that shit out.
You got it.
Right. Cool. Thank you so much, Gary.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jordan. I just wanted to come in and say thank you so much. Like, you're making such an improvement in everyone's fucking lives. Like, you're out here killing it, and you're like provoking us all to kill it as well. And I love you. Can I get a hug or photo? Yes.
Oh, cool. I love traditional sculpting and digital. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out.
This shit's awesome.
Bro, what's up, man? How are you?
You remember me, right?
Of course. How are you?
Good to see you.
You good?
Mike is stuck in Brooklyn. That's why I'm like, you gotta live in Manhattan if you want to do this. You're killing it everywhere. Completely everywhere. Instagram, YouTube videos, D-Rock's fucking killing it. I want to know your hot take.
And what's interesting, and I can't speak for everybody here, but I do know you well enough to know, you've watched the progression happen. Like
overnight, I woke up, you were at 1 million on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, and now it's across the board. You're just, the focus is so obvious, but it's been like that forever. I just want to know your hot take on Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain.
So Ethereum's got huge upside. So I think everybody knows I don't talk about shit I don't know.
That's right.
And even though I was at 3 South Bys ago, spent 9 hours sitting in a room talking about Ethereum when it was $1.50, right? I still know that there are so many people that know so much more. Here's what I would say. It can't lose over time. So I don't know how that manifests, but it's binary. It's binary. It's going to work over time. Here's what I don't know. By not playing with it enough, by not doing enough homework, the reason I'm not putting out content is here are the things that I don't know. I don't know how I think, because I haven't done homework, on what governments do about it. Because
there are big companies backing Ethereum right now.
Big companies are much smaller than governments, right?
Fair.
So I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't know enough. The reason I love Ethereum is because what that is it's so much more agnostic than currency. That's us doing lease deals with each other. It's way beyond that. So I understand why it will work. I just don't know enough of the details that I like. You guys know how I talk about social and content and marketing that feels and tastes and sounds different than everybody else because I so know it. So overall, when I'm asked on the record, I think it's gonna work.
You're gonna play the game?
I'm gonna play the game. Yes, I've bought it, but the way for me to play the game is to, you know what? I'm glad you brought up Instagram. I've been on Instagram for 5, 6, 7 years, right? Like, as a matter of fact, 18 and 24 months ago, I had 84,000 followers on Instagram. It was a completely secondary thought to me. Then I decided to play with it a little bit, and that's why I got to 400. And then in December, I remember I just looked at them like, you know what? I'm gonna go very serious at this. So probably at some point, March of next year, I'll be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna get very serious about crypto and think about it. So
you're
probably.
It, Gary. You're fucking killing it.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I want to. Can you snap for me?
Yeah.
I'm still using Snapchat. I know.
For me?
Right?
So just so you know, because just so you guys know, straight up, like statement of the night. In Snapchat ads are massively underpriced. They're $2, $3 CPMs.
Wow, that's low as shit.
And you can swipe up and get long form content. Literally tomorrow, I'm running heavy. I'm about to get very serious about Snapchat. Very serious.
Wow. Wow, that's a good move for them too. Wow.
Because it's just you know, to say, like, there's still an ungodly amount of fucking people consuming Snapchat.
It's gonna be around in 5 years.
I don't know. The thing I know
like,
is,
what we talking about in 2022, Instagram's gonna be around for sure.
of course, because Facebook's a beast. Yeah, I think they have too much money to not be talked about in 2022, but we could be talking about, like, Tumblr hasn't done anything right in 6 years. It's still here.
Well, they got bought out a while.
Right, exactly, but it hasn't done anything right in 6
But
years.
it still has the users.
So what I mean by that is Snapchat. Yes and no. The market's been, if it stayed independent, they would have raised so much money that they'd still be around. So,
Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram. I think it's Spicer CG. Let's see if I can find it.
David is the last person we should be worried about.
I only post like
I think he'll be around, but I'm not worried. You know that.
I post very little.
I'm worried about right this minute, and right this minute, because of Instagram's copy features, so many people have gone so far into Instagram.
Yeah,
only,
Spicer
while there's still
CG
just
under
action on
Instagram.
Snapchat, and now they have an ad product that's an interstitial that if you understand how to make content well, you can buy for $2 CPMs that people are gonna. What?
What you said you're running something tomorrow? What are you running tomorrow?
I'm gonna make an ad. I decided vertical for myself, and it's just gonna be like, you fucking suck, and I'm gonna show you how to fix it. And so I'm going to like swipe up, and then I'll go into a longer form video. I just think it's gonna work. I think people are gonna be there and be like, fuck, what the fuck?
In Discover or between stories?
Between stories.
Confusion, marketing strategy.
All right, let's snap real quick. I don't know, give like a
I got
7.
that.
You know.
Is anybody in here? Just kidding. I'm post on Snapchat. All in. Say hello. One mic.
That's Gary V.
What up? What up? Me, true, real life.
Right here.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Good to see you, man. Very good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try so hard not to throw up right now.
Okay. Please don't.
Oh yeah, can you like film this just with the clip?
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 months ago, I met Jason Beauregard on a plane. I sat next to him and I hit him up. I was like, dude, like media company, like what? Snapchat Spectacles. I work for Gary Vee. What? Oh my God, dude, you absolutely flipped my life upside down. I quit my job that was paying me 6 figures because of what you said, where how you make your money is much more important than how much you make. And it has, through everything that's happened to me, I am just so much more fulfilled, and I understand all the things that I don't want in life, which is very
way more important than the other thing, believe it or not.
Yeah, like it didn't matter that my bank account was looking good because I felt like I was lying to people and taking, and it didn't matter.
Right.
And dude, like you changed that for me when I hate to say Ty Lopez was steering me that way. I was like, no, dude, you saved me. Dude, thank you so much. And if there's, I'm in touch with Jason, but if there's any other way, I just actually gave him a spot. I'm sorry. At this convention at St. John's for the Diageo chair, which was really cool.
Awesome, thank you.
If there's any other way that I can just give something else to you.
I'll say it to everybody. It's Gary at VaynerMedia. It's the only chance. Sliding into my DMs is long over. Like, you know, Twitter's the one place I think you guys see it. I'll interact because I just look at it constantly. So that's where you can get. That's where you can get a thanks or a like or like a hey or like a yes or a no. But like email's the only. Like emails when yesterday I had to promote. Like on that 12-hour flight yesterday, I had to promote the show, and so I did that. But that would have been time where I would have. But email's the one place that like I save like I emailed. By the way, I emailed somebody the other day from like 2007. It was like saved in my. I got this one folder. Like so, it's the one place you can get an actual answer. Thanks, man.
Okay, dude, can I give you a hug? Thank
course,
you so
man.
much,
My
dude.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Can we get a selfie?
Of course. You had a T-shirts, Tyler?
1, 2. You want a flash? Here.
Yeah.
That was quality. There we go. That's beautiful.
Awesome, man.
I give you the 5. Thank you,
Thank you, man.
so much.
You're welcome.
What's up, Gary?
Hey, man.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I love you, bro.
Thank you, man.
I was gonna say I have these two small businesses. They make about the same. I have a social media agency and a shoe flipping business. I got it from your eBay from you. And how do I grow them? I have like plateaued. Like they both make like $1,000 a month.
Yep.
So I'm like stuck. So
How long have you been doing them?
Like a year now.
Yeah. So
I can't get sales for the social media agency. I have a client right now, and that's it. It's a carpet shoe business.
Yep.
And he does good at it. Like he gets good results.
Is this all you do, or you're going to school too?
I go to school too.
So I mean, I think a couple things. Like, I think it's important to make sure you know where you are in the process. So like, it's interesting. Like, when I was making like $4,000 a weekend selling baseball cards, I didn't think it was a business. I think I was making money. I think everybody, you know how I talk about everybody wants to be an entrepreneur and a bit like you have a client. That's very different than have a business. I mean, how do you fix that plateau? You spend all your time knocking on small business doors. Like the whole young kid social media business thing is very vulnerable because small businesses, when they don't get quick ROI, fire people. So you get a client, right? You get a client for $500 or $1,000. It feels good. It looks like it's gonna be good. But you get fired after 3 months. Like, it's very easy to build your social media business. You go knock on every small business door virtually or in real life, and you get more clients. And then you like figure out what they need. Like, it's not super complicated. It just takes a fuckload of time. And you have to know what you're doing. When people pay you $1,000, they want something to happen. Almost every kid that I know, especially as people are like selling the idea of like everybody should have their own social media agency, it's really good for the person that sells the model of everybody should build a social media agency. It's not as good for the people that actually have to go out and build a social media agency and then can't like build it. Like you start getting $1,000 for a pizza shop and they think you're gonna do something and you talk a big fucking game because all you have is the sizzle. Like, what are you doing for that $1,000 bucks? You have to drive results. Yeah. And so that one's a very difficult business. I have a client service business. That one's hard. The shoe flipping business is, again, very unscalable business unless you're paying off people at scale that can like stand in lines or get things behind the scenes or you know.
Like employees like
yeah, but employees need to get paid.
Yeah, obviously.
You know, so I mean, I would say. For me, if I heard this scenario, I would first say, like, why are you going to school? What are you looking to get out of that? Is that just trying to make your parents happy? Like, you've got a lot of answers.
I use it as a like a clutch. Like if I fail
on
these two businesses, I have my study. Yeah, but I don't have enough time for it.
I get it,
so
and I think
fuck.
no. I mean, I think it's just early.
Okay.
So like, I don't think you've plateaued because you haven't been doing it long enough to know that you've plateaued. Like, plateau is consistent off a base of growth, a consistent stagnant situation. You're just started. So you haven't plateaued. You're doing 3 things, which means you're doing no things. So it's right. So it's hard to like figure that out. I think you could go the other way. One of the things you could do and I'm giving this advice to everybody is you could go do 10 more things. One of the things at this young of an age is, you know, for you to consider to try 6 other things at the same token, because now you're just tasting shit.
Yeah, that's it.
And you might be able to figure out what you actually want to do. So if you actually ask me, I'd far rather everybody under 25 here do 11 things instead of 1 thing, because they might get a better sense of what they're good at or what they love most.
Yeah.
Huh?
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Can you take a picture?
Yeah.
Oh wait, we got to flash. 1, 2. I gotta get you some.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi.
Just a huge fan. I wanted to say hi.
Thank you.
Ask if we can get a picture.
Sure.
You got this.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Text it to you.
I really appreciate it.
I know how to fix it. Thanks for coming. Awesome.
Can I be next?
Yeah, of course.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I have a
Victoria.
video platform, Black Web Series. So I
love
wanted to
it.
give you a pen.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to thank you for all the work that you do. And
Thank
give you
you.
a hug.
Thank you for coming.
And
Picture?
yep, right here. 1, 2, 3.
Anybody have a Sharpie by any chance?
Thanks for coming.
I'm Marcia.
How's it going, Gary?
Good, how are you?
No, I'm not from here.
I just want to say thank you. Like, I quit my job last year because of you. I watched that college video.
That's been good? That's
yeah,
good?
so far, like, I quit my mental health. It's been amazing. Like, I feel so much better. Like, I went to college for my parents. I got this job for my parents. And now it's like, now it's time for me. And I'm 25, and I'm like, I can mess up. Like, you always say that.
You got time.
Yeah, and now I'm doing that. But the thing is, like, my parents are constantly throwing like little
Jabs?
statements, like, yeah, like, hey, you should get a job, or like, you need to go get
Throw
another
statements
degree.
back at them. Be like, I don't want to end up like you and be miserable. Like, call them out on their shit.
Same.
Okay.
Seriously, like when like my parents, I'm being serious. When my parents, when my wife, when my friends throw jabs at me, I throw jabs back at them. Like, there's nobody who's undefeated. There's nobody who's purely got everything right.
Okay.
Like, when people challenge me, I challenge them back, because that's that gives you the air cover for them. It's a funny thing happens when people throw jabs at you and zings at you. When you start doing it to them, they tend to slow down. They're just on the offense.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Out of pure love, they're just doing it because that's what they believe in. But if that's not what you want, you need to establish your ground, and the best way to do that is to just jab them back.
Okay.
Nicely, nicely.
They're always trying to pull me in because, like, yeah, we're family. Like, you need to do like what we want. Like, we love you, and this is what you should be doing. And it's like so hard.
You're 25 years old, bro.
I just jab back.
Yeah, you're 25.
Okay.
Be like, just tell them no.
Okay. No.
You want me to come over? And like,
Can you say something a little?
Mom, Dad, fuck you.
I'm 17. I'm from Toronto. I'm graduating high school in 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'm taking you off before maybe going to university. I'm gonna try off like 10 different businesses, like you were saying with them.
Okay.
What would you do if you were 17, just graduating high school?
I would do whatever the fuck I like. The answer is, I would whatever I was into at that time.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is build shit around what you're into.
Yeah.
So I'd look at the things you actually give a fuck about.
Always do what you love.
Yeah, it's just so much better. You know, it's a cliche thing, but it's better. Like if you're gonna work 18 hours a day, and if you're gonna take high risk, and if you're gonna live in a shitty place, and if you're not gonna like, it's far better to like do it around things you like. You just gotta make sure that you don't get high off your own supply.
Sculpting all around. See, by the way, another question, if you don't mind. I do not mind at all, of course. I'm sculpting armor and superhero suits. How do I sculpt hard, smooth edges like when Superman has all those lines around his obliques? And they are super smooth. You would use, here, let me show you.
They just want to shake
Alright, so let's take the sphere, let's make it polymesh 3D, and BTO, or Bob Thomas Orton, will give you this curve brush, right? And then you can do that, and then you can create geometry, right? So then you can split mask points, and then if you're looking for smooth, you know, you have that here. So you can also go here to stroke and frame mesh by polygroups, and then get our Z-modeler brush out and bevel all curves, and then go here to geometry, crease polygroups, and then it's nice and smooth.
I love it. It's awesome.
And now I'm a female.
Right, so basically, you know, consider this Superman's oblique, and then you'll get BTO,
You like your own post?
and you'll draw over it, right? And you have to hashtag it. See how it's making those, right? Right? But you can't do this, right? That's never gonna work, right? You need 4 separate lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need 4 separate lines. Okay? And then you choose your thickness by this brush. Right? And you just click it. There you go.
And I'm fucking female. I don't want to be a farmer.
I love it.
No fucking female farmer.
And then you can frame, stroke, frame mesh under curve functions. Make sure polygroups is selected. Do that, and then get your Z-modeler brush out and bevel.
What's up, man?
And then go back to crease polygroups, and then it'll keep those edges for you. Because if I uncrease all, you can see how right? We don't want that. So we just crease polygroups, and then it keeps that edge for us.
So, and I also want to say I really love what you're doing with.
So yeah, that's what I would do. Hopefully that answers your question, bruh.
I know you guys are still small, so I'm working as an agent for sports broadcasters here in the city.
And I have about 8 minutes before Facebook shuts me down, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this 4 hours sculpt off. So let's take a look at what we got so far. I think it's looking pretty dope. If you think it looks pretty dope, let me know in the comments, man. I think it's going pretty well. Just sketching things and still putting things in their place. And so, yeah, that's where we are. You can find me anywhere under Shotgun Scream, except for Instagram. You have to find me under Spicer CG, because Some dickhead already took my shotgun scream. I don't know who it was, but that's fine. Oh, and before we go, here, let me show you how to do that, 'cause that's a great question. Alright, so I'm going to go here to this sphere.
What's your name?
Marisol.
And I'm going
Marisol?
to...
Sure.
No, but what is it?
Marisol.
Marisol, is that the way you say it?
Just say Mary.
Marisol.
Alright, so we can, you know, get this, polygroup it, go to stroke. Oh, well, the question was, how would I get a curve all the way around it? And so you could do that,
Thank you.
and let's say it's all the way around it. You would do that one.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks for coming.
That one.
Cool.
Do that.
Hey, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
And then
I love it.
stroke,
Yeah.
frame mesh,
Not
polygroups,
Bergen, but Jersey.
and then hashtag it on the way down. There you go. Boop,
Do
boop,
you feel like in
boop,
order?
boop.
Do you feel like they really
That's how you
hold
do
you
it.
back, or do you feel like you could be friends? Do you feel like you could be friends with people who aren't?
Alright.
I am.
So, hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, so thank you.
Inner circle friends.
Thanks, King's Letter.
Inner circle
Glad you
friends
like it.
are sitting
So
down playing
tomorrow,
you're gonna lose. That's just 100%.
yeah, I gotta talk to you. I gotta turn the cam on. All
When
right.
people hear
I gotta turn the cam on for this one. All right. Now tomorrow, WWE Great Balls of Fire, and it runs from 7 to 10. So I'm gonna be streaming hopefully earlier during the day, but definitely after 10. I'll be back and working on this guy. Monday, all day Monday. And all night Monday, and till probably August 1st, I will be working on the BN52, texturing the characters, retopping them, getting them ready for the animation that we're doing. If you don't know what that is, you can look at it, facebook.com/BatmanNew52. It's an animation that we're doing in Unreal, and got like 40 plus people working on it. So it's going to be a very good production. I highly suggest you get in on that page now, because it's just like, look at my face. This is how much work is going in. Let's just look at it. Look at it. Right? So give it a like, give it a share. And then Zbrush Hangout this Wednesday, Sean Bellinger. He is a he's just really a great artist, right? And a great person. He's gonna have a lot of information for you, because he works at a outsourcing studio here in America. And so he has lots of styles under his belt, lots of different things he's had to do, environmental, character, all that stuff. So definitely check it out. Wednesday, 10 p.m., go to ZBrush Hangout, and then go to ZBHo Club on Facebook as well. So ZBrush Hangout on Facebook, ZBHo Club on Facebook. Make sure you join both of those. And then you can find me anywhere under Shotgun Scream, and also my studio, Dead Panic Studios. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching, especially all those that stuck around for so long. You were working right beside me, and that's what I love. I love it when you hustle, and I love it when you work, and especially when we work together. So I hope to see you back tomorrow afternoon and late at night. I will be working, and then yeah. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining.